Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Bulldog Bowl here in Artesia. We're before our pregame show here tonight. The Hobbs Eagles taking on the Artesia Bulldogs. Ty friend Ron Gunter with you as Hobbs and Artesia both coming in with a 1-0 record. Hobbs' big win over Clovis last week and a blowout victory for Artesia in that big battle with Carlsbad. So this should be an exciting game. Remember last year, Ron, the game was over 100 points in scoring for both teams, combined, I should say. And, of course, the Eagles winning at home at Watson Stadium.
Yeah, this should be a very good game. Mic check on this end, just making sure everything is working right. I expect to see some great plays, some great defense as well. So it's just going to be one of those games where whoever makes the least amount of mistakes can benefit and will probably win this game.
Yeah, last year, like we said, over 100 points scored. I think it was 117 to be exact, 69-48. Eagles winning by 21 points. Of course, that's against a team that was the 4A state champs games after that. I mean, they had a whole district to play before that happened, but still pretty impressive. 31 state championships is a record in the state of New Mexico.
Plus, it's also a boost not only for the playoffs, but also for the team itself. If they can get it past this Artesia team, which they've been struggling with in the past years, in fact, they're only like 16-32 since they've been playing. If they win another one tonight, then they are going to be very proud. 2-0, two tough teams. And the third one, Roswell, looks like it's going to be pretty tough, too. They did pretty well against Levington last week.
So we are going to have our pregame show starting around 6:45 tonight. This is just a sound check. We are here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. Many different platforms tonight. Cool 95.7 on the radio, which we're not there quite yet. But on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, on the Hobbs Sports page there, and the Facebook for Cool 95.7. Tiffany back at the station. Myself, Ty friend Ron Gunner. We'll come back with the pregame show at 6:45. Thank you. Welcome to the Bulldog Bowl here in Artesia, New Mexico. It's time for Hobbs Eagle football. Live on the radio, Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend and Ron Gunner with you tonight. Tiffany back at the station. And Ron, big battle, of course. These two teams, 117 points last year. The Artesia Bulldogs at Watson Stadium with the Hobbs Eagles. Eagles getting the 21-point victory, but Hobbs gets a 9-2 record, but at the same time, Artesia went on to win the 4A state championship.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of players coming back. Artesia does. Hobbs has a few that are doing really well or did well last week. We're hoping they'll do well again tonight, but it'll be an interesting battle because, as most people know, Artesia likes to air it out. Hobbs does too, but they can also run the ball this year, and they've got a good line, so it'll be offense versus defensive line. Which one's going to win? I think that's going to make a critical difference in this game.
And kind of crazy scoring in the first half last year, 41-35 Eagles. That was a total of 76 points on the scoreboard between the two teams. Hobbs outscored Artesia 28-13 in the second half, just 41 points combined with the two teams in that second or third and fourth quarter there. So 1,017 yards in that game. Hobbs was 600 and Artesia with 417. Eagles had 347 yards on the ground, which is kind of pretty lopsided there, 253 in the passing department. Artesia was 379 in the air and 38 on the ground. That's not something very unique for them, though, right? Or it is unique for them because that's what they like to do all the time.
Right, exactly. It's something they like to do. I mean, Strada likes to throw the ball. He's not a runner like we're used to seeing on most teams. Same with Hobbs. Beatty is a thrower first. If he can throw it down the field, he will. He doesn't like to run, but he will if he has to. Of course, that's both sides. And it's just going to be a matter of which one can control the running game. Of course, which one can do that. They can also kind of influence the passing game as well.
Of course, the Hobbs Eagles, a big win last week, 41-13 over Clovis. The same situation we saw last year as well to start off the season 1-0. And last year, of course, the Eagles getting the Artesia win. They started the season 2-0 after this game last year. This past week, though, some great numbers. Brock Beatty, of course, the junior quarterback coming out of Carlsbad, 12 of 22 in the passing game for 172 in the air. He was 54% in terms of completion rate in that game and threw for 3 touchdowns. So pretty nice start for him. Didn't get knocked down and fumble at all in this game. I mean, the team didn't have any turnovers, which is definitely what you want to start a season with on the road. Rushing-wise, some big numbers for Saul Armendariz, 13 carries, 126. He was the leader by far in terms of rushing. Amarian Kennedy had 8 carries for 51 yards. And also Brock Beatty, the quarterback we just mentioned, 9 for 38 on the ground. Each of those guys, Kennedy, Beatty, and Armendariz, all getting a touchdown each in the rushing game. So 3 TDs for the Eagles in the rush department. Passing, we mentioned 172, and if you look at those numbers, it was Jaquez doing the best. Jeremiah in terms with 6 catches, 104 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Justin Black had a snag for 35 and a score early in the game, and Deshaun Franklin with 4 catches for 30 yards. So we had 3 touchdowns in the air off the arm of Brock Beatty. So that's pretty much what we're looking at offensively last week, and Eagles did give up a little bit of time for Clovis to move the football up and down the field a little bit. They finished with double digits in first downs, but at the same time, Eagles tended to have this game in hand in that first half and carried it on for the victory, and a good way to start against an arch rival from the past.
Yeah, plus, you tend to, on those games especially, you want to see if your secondary players can come in and do the same thing as your first stringers, and I think that's what Hobbs did. They got a little extra play from all the players, or as many players as they could, went out there, did what they could, and definitely showed that this is going to be a good year for the Hobbs Eagles if they can continue to play that way.
So Hobbs definitely doing some good stuff with the total 172, again, in the passing game, and in terms of rushing at 208. So they finish up with 380 yards in that ball game in offense. Defense doing very well as well with the Clovis Wildcats getting only 61 yards in the passing game, 202 in the rushing for a total of 263. And some big numbers for some of their linebacking core. If you take a look at some of those guys, of course, Diaz Castro, Gustavo, with a total of 13 tackles in that ball game, and 9 of those were solo, so doing the job himself, the majority of those tackles. He's definitely a big help in the linebacking core. Also, you had Zayden McPherson with 12 tackles. He had 1 for loss. And Tristan Davis, the junior linebacker, finished up with 9 tackles. 2 of those were sacks. So he definitely helps out the cause. But that linebacking core, very tough for Coach Stevens and the squad.
Definitely they are, and I think they're going to be one of their key successes for this season.
Going to the national anthem, we'll take a 90-second break. Come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to the Bulldog Bowl as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Artesia Bulldogs. Game 2 of the season. Both teams coming in with a 1-0 record. Ty Friend here with you, Ron Gunner and Tiffany back at the station. Just got done with the national anthem, and right before the break talking about the Hobbs Eagle defense and the big pressure of the linebacking core in terms of those guys getting together. We mentioned Gustavo Cruz and Davis and McPherson. Those guys combined for 34 tackles out of the 87 in that ball game that Hobbs had against Clovis. So definitely want to see some increased linebacker play in this game, especially going to have to kind of more in a pass prevent type of defense with the balls that we're going to see in the air quite frequently for the Artesia offense. Should mention there's going to be a change a little bit in terms of the starting lineup in this ball game, and we're going to get to that here in just a second. But they do have a switch off in the cornerback situation. In fact, we'll get to that right now. They're going to have Carlos Jimenez and Manuel Murillo at the two cornerbacks. That will come in for Seamus Wright, who was a freshman. So definitely going to have a little bit more experience at those two corner positions. Of course, Cameron Hernandez, Gustavo Diaz-Castro, Zayden McPherson, and Tristan Davis in the linebacking core for the Eagles. And really going to get some tests tonight in the secondary deep. Javen Hernandez and Jacob Diaz, those two guys, the sophomore and junior safeties, going to have to be watching all over the field with all those receivers heading out. And they're not just going to go one area. I mean, maybe to the sidelines, maybe up the seam. It doesn't matter. The defense has got to be ready.
Exactly, because Nia Estrada knows how to spread out the offense, and so doing so, he's going to be spreading out the defense as well. Hopefully they'll be playing man-to-man. Zone is kind of tricky at times. You never know who's going to take the assignment. So Estrada's going to be seeing if he can pick apart the defense for the Hobbs Eagles. And he's also going to be, of course, trying to get a little extra time buying it with his feet. Like I said, he doesn't like to run. However, he does like to buy time. He's almost like a Roger Staubach in that sort of sense, where he can get back there, negotiate around until he can find his open man and hit him. And he's really accurate. I noticed that from last week.
55 points. Estrada helps his team score in that game against their rival Carlsbad. One of the biggest blowouts in that series between the two teams from Eddy County. Lots of guys getting involved offensively for that team as well. You mentioned the quarterback, Nia Estrada. He had big, long touchdown throws as well, 41 and 33 yards, another double-digit for 16. 4 touchdown passes from Estrada. He's a number 1 player on the All-State team last year in the 4A, so he definitely is going to be a great return for them. Ethan Kahn, a wide receiver, 3 receiving touchdowns against Carlsbad last week, so he definitely can go out and catch some balls. And Frankie Galindo had a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown for Artesia, so kind of a double threat guy there. Definitely some guys that the Eagles are going to have to be looking out for. And I got quite a load of people on this team that got on that first team 4A state squad from last year. Of course, they were the state champions, and we should mention, Ron, that is their 31st state champion for the Artesia Bulldogs. Nobody's even close to those numbers in the state of New Mexico. Definitely a record after that win. Right. And so Coach Maupin definitely in his second, this his 3rd year of action. He's trying to get his second championship in a row if he can do that. That was their first championship since 2017. So again, they're reared up and ready to go. The series between these two teams, 32 wins and 16 losses for Artesia. So they've doubled the wins against the Hobbs Eagles. But I think you throw those out because Hobbs with a big win last year, and that was a pretty impressive victory by 21.
Exactly. I mean, I would like to go back there and say this is how many times they've lost. They had a losing streak against Artesia. But you know what? That doesn't matter today because this is a different Eagles team. They have a different attitude. They definitely have a different swagger, and they can definitely come in here and win. I'm not going to say that they're automatically going to win. You cannot take any game for granted. You got to play it one play at a time and make sure that you do the right thing. Of course, fundamentals are always important. And so just go in there, do the best you can, and hope for another victory. Then that would be one more 17 versus the 16 they already have right now versus Artesia. So that'd be a nice feather in their hat.
Last time the Eagles had 2 wins in a row going back to 2017 and 18. They won 56-49. Very big one in that one, too. That was 105 points combined. And 2018, the Eagles winning at home 42-37, 79 points in that game. So that's the last time they won 2 in a row. Artesia really dominated the series, though, over the last 20 years, 2 decades. They've had 14 wins and 6 losses. And Artesia was major in control between about 2003 through 2009, where they won all those games, a total of 7 against the Hobbs Eagles. But since then, it's been a lot of give back. So you get a win here, we'll take the win the next year. But it's been kind of seesaw type of situations, although Hobbs did have a couple of wins in a row, 2013 and 14. Prior to that, 2017 and 18 double up there against the Bulldogs. So it'll be exciting to see what Hobbs can do in this one. Of course, next week they'll have Roswell, who's another tough 4A contender. Roswell and Artesia were 2 of the tops in the state last year. So this is kind of a key up for that. And it's good pressure, too, in terms of the pass defense. You want want to see those guys getting worked out. Hobbs a little bit less experience back there in the secondary, Ron, which they're going to have to be on their toes tonight, and a lot of help is going to have to be around that field, especially from the linebackers to back up and help out with the receivers and tight ends or whoever else goes out.
Absolutely. They've got a quick one running back as far as LaRock. He can make him run up quickly. He's not good with pressure as far as when he gets hit. However, he does get around fast to the outside and make some yards, at least 10 on almost every play that I saw him in. So he can definitely make those first downs look pretty easy.
Coach Ken Stevens of the Hobbs Eagles says the key of this game is to take care of the football, not having any turnovers, to keep on top of it just like they did last week. Artesia, as you saw on the game last week, Ron, as you reviewed that game against Carlsbad, there were some key turnovers, a punt block that ran back for a touchdown for Artesia, and they also had a pick 6 on the INT scoring as well. So you give them those little giveaways there. Artesia a lot of times makes you pay for it. And they love the special teams, starburst, onside kick, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. You know, the fun thing was both of those returns that they had for the Artesia Bulldogs happened after a pick happened in the end zone. They could have easily.
And Hobbs been kind of standing patiently waiting with their white uniforms, gold numbers, and black helmets, and Artesia wearing their home orange and black numbers with the white pants. So we're just about a few minutes away from the kickoff here. We'll take a quick 30-second break. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Football on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're ready for some Hobbs Eagle football here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany with you tonight as the Orange Squad at home taking on the black and gold Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs trying to get this 2 games in a row. That'll be the 3rd time in recent years within the last 2 decades that could occur. Artesia trying to break the 1-game losing streak, but did win that state championship from last year. So they definitely know how to win in this program and always have tons of players, no matter what division or what age group that they're dealing with. I always have tons of players, a lot of coaches on the sideline, and definitely going to give you a battle when it comes down to the game kicking off. It will be Artesia kicking off in this game. Our Hobbs Eagles will be back for the receive as we're going to get underway very quickly here at the Bulldog Bowl.
Yeah, you look at the lineup over here for Artesia, it doubles almost what Hobbs has.
So Hobbs will have 3 back, 1 at the 3-yard line, a couple at the 10s, spread across left and right. Armendariz will be back deep for Hobbs as they're still trying to get the football in from the Artesia sideline. I really kind of hate that, and being a referee as well, having these separate footballs. I think they should just have 1 game football and play with it. It takes a lot of time to kind of relay those in from both sides of the field. But coaches and ADs have gotten together and kind of said, hey, give us opportunity. But sometimes kind of makes a little delay here. So we finally get the ball on the field and ready for the kickoff after my little political commentary. Here comes the kick, a low one. It takes a roll at the 25, a bounce, picked up at the 20. It's fumbled off the knee, and looks like Artesia's getting a piece of it. Still loose, getting bobbled around everywhere about the 25, and already I think we've got a turnover. Yes, Artesia football at the 19-yard line. Desperation dive for the Eagles at the last second to try to get it back. We're going to have to wait and see who came up with it. It might have been, let me double check who that was down there. It might have been Jet Whitmire that picks it up for the Bulldogs, but we just talked about special teams in the pregame and already a Hobbs Eagle turnover. It's going to be given to Artesia in the red zone at the Hobbs Eagle 25 near the red half stripe there, and it's going to be not a great start to this ball game.
I know. Hobbs is already starting off on the wrong foot, deep in their own territory, and losing the ball right off the start.
Actually going to put it at the 25 exactly. Trips left, receiver right. Nye getting ready for the shotgun as a single setback off to his right shoulder. He's going to hand it off, crossover right to left, now going back up to the middle and trying to drive the pile, about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. Big pile up for the Eagles on top of that. So LaRock, the first carrier of the game, they're going to give him, looks like 3 yards as he'll get things started for Artesia, who was given a major gift to start this game with the turnover.
Absolutely they are, and they may not have been ready for the offense, but they're definitely ready to get that offense going right now.
That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 from the 22-yard line of the Eagles, middle of the field here. Twins left and right for Artesia. Shotgun going to be back for Nye. Has a man in motion right to left. They try to pitch to him. Fumbled the ball in the backfield. Picks up to the 20. Around the end of the 15 and run out of bounds there. He is close to the first down. Even though he had to kind of scoop that ball up Australian rules football style and rugby it over to the left side, he might have got enough for the first and might just barely, 7 yards. That will move the chains.
Talking about a bounce going the right way. That could have been disastrous for the Bulldogs if it would have bounced the wrong way, but bounced back into him and was able to make that first down like you said.
That was Lopez for 7. It brings up a first down, the first of the ball game. Now at the 14 of the Eagles on the left hash. Twins left and right for the orange and black. Shotgun for Nye. Delay handoff. Angling right. Heading outside. Cutting back to the 10. And diving forward gets another 4 yards. And that will be Jesse LaRocque once again, as he's going to get another 4. He's got 2 carries for 7 yards. Davis, the linebacker for the Eagles, comes up to make the stop and brings it down right to the 10-yard line, right in the middle of the field once again.
Always with positive yards. That's all you have to do is just get a little positive yards, chip away, and before you know it, you're in the end zone.
3 carries for 14 in terms of the running game so far for Artesia. They tend to add a little bit more running to their action when they're playing the Eagles. Hobbs always expecting the pass, though. 4-man front for the Eagle defense. Twins left and right. Shotgun to Nye. Low snap. 2-step drop. He's back to pass in the pocket. Rolls right to the 10, to the far sideline, to the 9, to the 8, to the 7, and tiptoes out at the 6-yard line. So gets another, make it 3 yards. He steps out early on that one. So that's the quarterback's first carry of the ball game. Now 17 in the rushing game for Artesia. Does stop the clock as he gets out of bounds at the 7-yard line on the right hash.
That's a good sign for the Hobbs Eagles. That means their secondary is covering the receivers, and that meant that the quarterback had to go ahead and get some yards on his own.
Notice Coach Maupin, though, keeping the ball on the ground for the first 4 plays of the ball game and said, hey, we know we're known for the bread and butter pass, but here we can show you we're consistent on the ground, at least early part of the game.
Well, they also don't want to make a mistake and turn it over early on.
They can get a first at the 4-yard line right now at the 7 on the right hash. 3rd down and 3 from the 13. Quick snap on the wishbone up the middle, and the tailback plows ahead. And he's going to be shy. I think his knee went down about a yard shy of the first down there. We'll have to wait and see where they're going to mark it. I believe that was LaRocque one more time. Looks like they give him 3 on the play. So LaRocque now 3 carries for 10 yards as the Hobbs Eagle defense steps up to make the stop. Again, we don't have really much sun to deal with in this game. We have a lot of cloud cover to start the contest, so pretty dark here to get it going. And usually get a glare off the glass on our camera angles here, but tonight a little bit of a different story. 4th and short from the right hash at the 5-yard line. Need to get to about the 4 or 4.5. They have a full backfield now. Shotgun to the tight end. Drop the ball, look like, and kind of leans his body forward as he tries to catch it in the air. That was a 4th down play. Dives across the 5. We're going to see if he's short. Looked like he was way short, depending on the spot here on the forward progress.
Spot on this side looks like he's about a yard short still.
Whole Hobbs Eagle defense is pointing the other direction. Looks like he's short a half a yard on that one. And it will be a turnover on down, so LaRocque is not able to get what he needed, so just about a half a yard on that play. And that will be the turnover on down. So Artesia not taking advantage of a major mess up on the special teams on the receiving team for the Eagles, and Hobbs dodges a bullet.
Yeah, they only were able to get 20 yards out of that drive. Luckily for Hobbs, they were able to get the ball back, although it is on the 5-yard line, so it'll be tough to get out of that end zone.
1st and 10 from the 5, as you mentioned, on the left hash. Eagles got the distance to go, 95 yards. As Beatty steps up to the line of scrimmage and talks to his team really quickly to get the play ready. Doubles in terms of receivers left and right, and time is called already. Coach Stevens didn't like what was going on out there. Some confusion on the field on the formation. So the first timeout burned early here at the Bulldog Bowl. 9:26 left first quarter. Hobbs 0, Artesia 0. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to the Bulldog Bowl. Hobbs Eagles come back quickly after a timeout. Armendariz, the ball carrier, as he scampers up the middle for about a 2-yard pickup. Eagles on their first drive of the first quarter. They have a tie 0-0 after a fumbled kickoff return. Gave Artesia the ball in the red zone, who could not score and getting turned over on downs. Eagles go with the twins left and right. Correction, twins left, single receiver right. They shift their slot back over to the left side. Shotgun coming in for Beatty. At the goal line with the pump fake. He wants to air it out. The fade route down the far left sideline. Over the shoulder. It's caught at the 39. And that will be about, looks like a 34-yard pickup for the Eagles. Deshaun Franklin comes up with a big one there. So 34 yards for Franklin. Everything's going good for the Hobbs Eagle passing game. 1 for 1 for 34. As they'll have it at the 39-yard line. Actually, that was a 32-yard pickup on the pass play. First down for the Eagles quickly in the hurry-up offense at their own 39 left hash. Beatty back in shotgun, a slot reverse on the left to right now, coming around the right end of the 40, stretching out, cutting back, 45 to the sideline, gets up in it and down at the 48. He went high in the air that time, got bucked up, rodeo style. And that's going to be Franklin, the ball carrier for the Eagles, as he picks up another, that might be close to a first down. They're going to give him 9 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So Franklin with his first carry of the ball game. Eagles are now 2 for 11 in the running game. Second down and 1 down from their own 48. Double slot, receiver left and right. They bring a man in motion. Got to give the handoff around the left end to Hawkes. Cuts out the left side, 50, 45, 40, 35 to the far left sideline, 30, cuts back. He gets knocked out from the backside of the 25. 2 arms right to his shoulder blades that time. But a big turn for Hawkes on that far left side from the 50 down to the, looks like the 27-yard line. So they're going to give him about 18, 19 yards for Hawkes, and that will move the chains again for the Eagles. Their second first down here in the first quarter on that left hash at the 31 of the Bulldogs. Clock down to 7:50 left, first quarter still scoreless. So Hobbs kind of turning the momentum, having to dig their heels in defensively to stop a red zone score, Ron, and now they're moving the ball down the field.
Exactly, making it look pretty easy too, I must say.
First and 10 from the 32 for the Eagles in Artesia territory. Twins left, receiver right, slot right. Single setback for the Eagles. They bring their slot left in motion. Fake the handoff, go with the tailback up the gut. Armendariz angles left over the 30 and down the 28-yard line, about a 3 or 4 yard pickup for him.
That's a nice little play, just testing the lines on both sides to see who can win. Looked like Hobbs had the advantage there just a little bit.
They give him 4 on that one. Second down and 6 now. 2 for 6 for Armendariz in the running game. Eagles looking at the sideline for the play call, as they'll have it now at the 27 of the Bulldogs. Bulldogs are going to put a lot in the line right now. 6 up front. As waiting for the shotgun is Beatty. Gets a good snap. Back to Armendariz. No, yeah, he does hold it finally and tries to take it right, but he meets the wall. I think there was a little delay on the handoff. He's actually stood up, and they blow the whistle halfway through the run. Might have been a penalty here. No flag, I guess, though. They just said he was wrapped up. So no gain on the play for Armendariz. A quick whistle by the official to make sure there was not a pile-on there. And that's going to be now at the 29-yard line, so might have lost a yard on that one.
Yeah, it was definitely for the safety of the player. Did not want to get him hurt.
Third down and 8 now for the Eagles at the Artesia 28-yard line. Beatty comes up to line of scrimmage, back in shotgun now. Twins right, receiver left. Has Armendariz back with him. Good snap, 3-step drop. Little shuffle pass up the middle. Ball gets bounced around. Not sure if it was caught or not. Looks like one of the big linemen came down with it that time. And we got the Timbers falling down. And let's see who came up with that one. That's the big lineman for the Hobbs Eagles. That's Josh Ray. And, of course, Josh Ray is a force to be reckoned with on that left side of the line, as that ball just kind of skittered over towards him. And he said, look what I have here.
Right.
Josh Ray is a total 6'3", 285 pounds, and is able to get not much yardage on the play, but does get a couple on that one. Oh, they call the procedure against the Eagles because the lineman's the one that caught it, but I'm not sure if the ball was tipped, knocked to the ground, or what. You couldn't tell from the angle. It's far left, and I don't know if it was a ball bounced off the turf or he did catch it or what the heck happened. It was in a big pile over there on the left side, so he's going to call it the procedure. That's a 5-yard penalty for the Eagles. So Josh Ray, I'm sure wasn't expecting the ball coming towards his side of the line of scrimmage, and he definitely made the best he could with it. That's going to back it up now to the 33.5-yard line. Third down and 12 now for the Eagles as the receivers looking to the sideline for Coach Stevens' call with 6:19 and ticking here in the first quarter, still scoreless at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. Beatty back and shot. Twins left and right in the receiving core. Armendariz on his left shoulder backfield. Good snap. Gives a handoff around the right end to Armendariz. Tripped up a minute around the 35, trying to cut it back, and it kind of puts up the back pedal to the 30 and gets his butt on the turf. A lot of lateral running that time. Just a 4-yard pickup net on the far right sideline in front of the Artesia bench. But Armendariz will get the 4. That's his 4th carry of the ball game. He's got a 9 yards total. Now Eagles going to face a 4th down, and Ron, you have the ball at the Artesia about the 30.5. And you got a 4th down and a 9. What do you do in this situation? You can't punt. I mean, you're too much in the territory.
You got to play it like 2, but you definitely want to make as many yards as you can in this one. Just get a quick route going and hit it.
Looks like Artesia only going to put 3 on the front line. Pass prevent, back to pass. Beatty out of the shotgun, throws a little dump over to the left side. 25, stutter step, diving to the 21. It's going to be well short of the 20. That will be about a 2 yards short of the first down. Needed to get 9 and probably got 7. Hawkins comes up with a catch, so 7 yards for him. But that's not going to be enough for the first down. Eagles are 2 of 2 for 39 in the passing game, but turnover on down, just like Artesian. Boy, this is setting up like a seesaw battle, Ron.
It certainly is, and so far it's anybody's guess as who is going to be able to take advantage of it.
5:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Hobbs and Artesia scoreless. Second possession for the Bulldogs at their own 22-yard line. They'll send 3 receivers left, 1 right. Hobbs will get 4 on the front line defensively. It will be a shotgun for Artesia. That's Estrada. Back to pass on a 3-step drop. Stutter steps in the pocket. Flush left. He's going to tuck it to the 25. Dives and just lets his knees and legs sail into that about the 27-yard line. Home at the plate there. And we're going to see how much you're going to give him on this. Looks like 5 for Estrada, the quarterback keeper. Didn't see anything opening up in the receiving core. That's his second carry for 8 yards, so the turf gets the tackle on that one.
Yes.
Be 2nd down and 6.
Secondary doing a great job for Hobbs, and they continue doing that to slow down this quarterback.
Trips right, receiver left. Back to shotgun as Estrada. They only gave him 5 on that one, so they're going to be at the 27. Low snap of the shotgun, 2-step drop. Bouncing around, floats out left again, has not run with it yet. Throws the out route, coming back for it to 40. The catch is made. And that's going to be 14 on the catch on that one. And coming up with the catch for Artesia will be Juan Diego Duran, getting his first catch of the ball game. 14 on that one will be a first down. First pass of the game for the Bulldogs. They're 1 for 1 for 14. Ball be moved up to the 39-yard line on the left hash for the Bulldogs. Clock down to 4:20 left first quarter. Trips right, receiver left. That's going back to the shotgun is LaRock. Gets a good snap, looks option, holds it the last second, flips out left on the near sideline, gets bobbled out of bounds, but enough to knock it out, though, before losing it in the field of play. Jesse LaRock, he's very lucky on that one. He almost lost it right to the Eagles. And he's going to get, looks like, close to 4 yards on that one. He got it patty-caked it right to his sideline players, kind of watching in awe that he was able to hold on to it at all. So LaRock's got his 5th carry of the ball game for 15 yards, and now a 2nd down and 6 for Artesia at their own 43 on the left hash. Hobbs will put 4 on the front line defensively. Trips right, receiver left for the Bulldogs. Nye taking some time on the call here, gets a snap, 2-step drop on the shotgun, throwing the out route to the 50, coming back for it to catch in Hobbs Eagle territory at the 49. And that will be, looks like a first down plus. That's coming up with a catch for the Bulldogs was Diego Lopez. And that will be enough for the first down. 9 for Lopez. And that'll be the 3rd first down for the Artesia Bulldogs, now in Hobbs territory at the 49. They're 2 for 2 in the passing game for 23.
Yeah, Bulldogs getting into a rhythm. Hobbs needs to knock them out of it if they want to continue getting the ball back. 1st
and 10 from the Eagle 49 on the left hash. Artesia football. Shotgun. Handoff up the middle, angling right now to the 45, pulling the pile with him and drop down at the 44. LaRock's the ball carrier that time. And coming up for the Hobbs Eagles, it appeared to get, I believe, Jacob Diaz in there on the stop for Hobbs. Sorry about that. We're really trying to deal with these lemon-like numbers for the Eagles. Very hard to get those on the into the pile there. That will be a 4-yard pickup for LaRock. He's pretty much the workhorse so far with 19 yards on 6 carries. 2nd down and 6 now for Artesia. At the 45 of the Eagles, shotgun by himself in the backfield. The pass to the left flat, a screen goes over the hands and through the fingertips of Isaac Cazares. Incomplete off the pass from Estrada. And that's the first miss of the ball game now for Artesia. 2 for 3 in the passing game. 3rd down and 6.5 for Artesia.
Cazares is the backup quarterback, and he's also a great wide receiver. He can run the ball very fast. I think he's in track. He is a very fast runner.
Ball will be at the 45 of the Eagles, middle of the field now. One receiver has already made it to the lines. He's pretty eager to be out there. That's Juan Diego Duran. Hobbs will stack 4 on the front for the defense. So a big down here to try to keep Artesia moving any more into the Hobbs Eagle territory with 3:22 left here in the first. Still 0-0. Trips left, receiver right. Back in shotgun is Estrada. Low snap. He has to pick it off the turf, dumps it in the flat. It's going to be a flea flicker, a pass down the left sideline, halfback pass, and a back pedal for the catch at the 15-yard line made from the 45 down to about the 5, a 40-yard play. And coming up with it for Artesia, make that Juan Diego Duran. So 40 yards on the play for Duran, his second catch for 54 yards. Artesia now 3 of 4 in the passing game for 63 total. They'll go with the quick handoff up the middle and diving towards the goal line. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Nope, the leg knee went down at the 2.
No, that was the score.
No, they did say he went through.
It was a pass.
Yep, they got it across the line of scrimmage quickly on the hurry-up offense and put it in the end zone. Juan Diego Duran for 4 yards in the touchdown. So now it's 6-0. Artesia was knocking on the door in their first series. Now they score here to make it the first points of the ball game.
Yeah, definitely a nice play by the Artesia Bulldogs, and definitely took advantage of the kind of confusion of the Hobbs Eagles while they could.
Philip Finley, the kicker for Artesia, waiting for the snap back of the 10. Kick is up. It looked like I got a hand on it from the Artesia, making the Hobbs Eagle left side of the line. It's got enough just to barely flick over the crossbar there. Somebody got a hand up there that time, and a piece of it was a wobbler, and I don't know how it had enough momentum to go over the crossbar, but it did.
I know, just barely. Like 11 yards is what it looked like for me that it went over the bar.
3:04 left first quarter. Artesia draws blood first here at the Bulldog Bowl. 7-0 over the Eagles. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live here in Artesia. The Hobbs Eagles with the kickoff return. This time are able to hold on to it and get a return. That might be back to about the 40 or maybe the 45, as returning for Hobbs is Brock Beatty. As we're ready to go here, the Eagles trail 7-0 as Artesia got a touchdown pass, a 4-yarder to get things going for them. Kahn was the score on that one. A little dump over the top of the or middle of the field there for 4 yards. Eagles 1st and 10 from their own 44. Bring them out of motion right to left. That is Yahaquez to the left side. Fake the handoff. Back to pass Beatty. Fires out to the out route to the far left. Catch made at the 45 of Artesia. And that will be a first down and then some. Be 12 yards for Yahaquez, and that'll be a first down for the Eagles. Yahaquez with 2 catches for 19. Eagles are now 3 of 3 in the passing game for 51 yards. And that's their 3rd first down. Quickly up to the 44 of Artesia on the left hash. Again, Artesia up 7-0 here in the first quarter. Kind of a quick-moving quarter at 2:35. The quick strikes and guys catching the football for both teams so far. Hobbs now taking some time as they wait for the play call from the sidelines. Making some adjustments now. They'll bring a slot to the right. And receivers are still kind of waiting here. Twins left, receiver right for Hobbs.
8 seconds on the clock.
Beatty waiting for the shotgun, back with Armendariz. They'll send a man in motion right side to make it twins for both receiver cores. Fake the handoff, back to pass, throwing the curl route to the far left sideline, and a push by the Artesia defense there. Ball was sailing over the top of the receiver intended, but Deshaun Franklin not able to come down with it. Way over his head that time. Incomplete for the Eagles. They're now 3 of 4 in the passing game. Their first miss, so still 75% incompletions for Beatty. Clock stop at 2:08. That was an incomplete. Hobbs now with the 2nd down and 10 from the Artesia 44 on the left hash. Beatty back in shotgun formation. He's going to send Hawkes to the right side. Another receiver to the far left, and Brown bringing Twins to the right. Artesia's going to put 3 on the front line. Little pass prevent look. Man in motion. Hawkes right to left. Gets a handoff. Going around the left end. 45. Trying to stretch it out and tries to get 1 more yard back to the line of scrimmage and barely might have got there, but not much more than that. So we're going to see, we're going to mark this out. Did he step up of Pine? No, he got it forward progress, so maybe a yard for the Hawkes on that one. 2nd carry for 20 total now. And a 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles, as that'll be at the 44 of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely got the 1, got the progress, but definitely needed more than that to make it a 3rd and short instead of a 3rd and long.
Got another 3-man front for the Bulldog defense. Twins left and right for the Eagles. Beatty underneath the center this time, then backs out of it, and back next to Armendariz in the backfield, left side of his shoulders. Good snap, 2-step drop, pump fake, rolls right, cuts back to the middle, gets pushed around to the 45, tries to throw his body forward, and able to stumble ahead for about 1.5 yards. So instead of getting sacked in the backfield, able to fall forward with the forward progress. And the knee went down kind of quick, so maybe they're going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage. They don't give him any on that one, so he got less than he was expecting on that. That was his first carry technically of the ball game. So Beatty now 1 for nothing in the on the rush game. 4th down and 9 for the Eagles, so they're facing this situation one more time here in the first quarter. Eagles going to take their time, clock to 48 and ticking here in the first. Still down 7-0 to the Bulldogs. Trips right, receiver left for the black and gold. Beatty's had some words for his lineman as he goes underneath them for a second, then backs it out again. Pretty consistent with that situation here. Takes a look over his trips receivers. And we got a stoppage of action here at the line of scrimmage as the refs are coming in converging. Clock stopped at 28. And we've got a delay of game against the Eagles. They got close a couple plays ago, but this time they get the call. And that's their 2nd penalty for 10 yards. 5's on that one, and that's going to take them out of a good chance for going for first. It goes to a 4th down and 14 now for the Eagles. They're back at the 48, still in the Bulldog territory, but they're not going to take any gambles, I guess, on this one.
Yeah, they may have wanted to just get a little more room to get some punting area to see if they can pin them in deep in their own territory.
Beatty's back deep. He is the punt man for the Hobbs Eagles by himself, of course. And 1 back deep for Artesia at the 10-yard line on the right hash. You bring him out in motion from right to left. High snap. Beatty's going to fake it. No, they're going to stop the action. Referee's got probably a procedure call here. They brought a slot in motion for a receiver in motion right to left. And as soon as this high snap occurred, you saw a whistle going down and a flag as well. And it's going to be a backup procedure call against the Eagles for 5 yards. So 3 for 15 in the handkerchief so far against the squad on the road tonight here at the Bulldog Bowl. So it really doesn't hurt you much. It gives you, like you said before, a little bit more room to punt it as high up in the air as you can to get your coverage guys down the field. Refs are still having a big discussion. They're calling everybody in on this one. I'm not sure what controversy it was. Maybe the formation was kind of questionable. I don't know. But usually that's your white cap and possibly your line judges to help out with the formation if somebody might have been out of position or double movement by some guys in motion. Only one guy was moving that time, though.
Exactly, and he was running. Probably should have been having his feet set. That's the only thing I can think of. And now they got more referees coming out and discussing the whole thing, making sure they get the right call.
They bring the line judge in front of the Artesia bench. They motion him to run out there. And they're not marking the ball back, Eddie, because it was 4th and 14, and it's not moving. Oh, they're pulling the flag up. That's what it was. The call was removed, so there is not a penalty on that one. It's still 4th and 14. But once again, Ron doesn't change the situation. Still a punt for Beatty.
It's still the same situation for the Hobbs Eagles. They still have to punt it.
Back at the 40 is Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Still has that receiver going in motion from right to left for the Eagles. Saul Armendariz. Good snap this time. Kick is from the 40. Almost blocked, though. It's going to go high in the air. A wobbler, though. Takes a bounce at the Artesia 30 and covered by the Eagles. Couple guys on top of it that time. So some good coverage for Hobbs to make sure that didn't go any further. And getting the ball was Isaiah Rodriguez. But that'll be Artesia's chance for a second possession with just 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Your Eagles trail Artesia 7-0. Of course, last year, what tons of scoring we saw in that ball game. Unbelievable numbers for both teams. 117 points combined in the Eagles' 21-point victory, 69-48. At the end of one, Hobbs is up 21-13 and led at the half, 41-35. So they already had 76 points on the scoreboard just in the first quarter alone last year at Watson Stadium. This will be the third possession of the ball game for the Artesia Bulldogs. They've had a total of 4 completions in the passing game so far out of 5 attempts. So they only had 1 dropped. LaRock's been carrying the ball quite a bit on the ground for him as well for 19 yards on 6 carries.
Head ref is talking to the coach right now for the Hobbs Eagles. So there's a delay in the game right now.
Coach Stevens out there getting the last. The official's putting his hand. Oh, he's wanting to know what the pulled flag was about and got the Eagles having to change their formation and all that. And he went back still with that receiver in motion, but Coach Stevens not happy about whatever that discussion was. Mentioned Duran. He's had 2 catches for 54 for Artesia. Lopez had 1 for 9, and Kahn had the touchdown, a 4-yard grab coming off the arm of Estrada. So Artesia football, third possession of the ball game. They'll have it at their own 28. Shotgun for Estrada, back to pass, 3-step drop. He's going to arrow down the left sideline, over the shoulder, catch at the 40, and that'll be a big first down pickup for Artesia. So that's going to be 30 to the 40, and that will be 30 yards. As coming up with the catch for Artesia was Isaac Caceres. That's the second big-time pass catch, 70 yards, 40 for Duran and 30 for Caceres, who are now 5 of 6 in the passing game. They go quickly, and the ball's loose as it comes forward. And getting a piece of it as it came on loose, that come loose for Artesia. And it was LaRock getting the handoff, fumbled it forward. Carson Truce, the senior tackle, able to pick it up. And that will be for positive yardage. Or did they? No, they're going to say, yeah, about a half a yard. No yards on the play at the 40. Still the officials trying to mark this one, but LaRock is credited with the carry that time. They're still not marking it off. That will run out the first quarter clock regardless. Looks like no gain on the play. We're headed to the second. Hobbs down to Artesia, 7-0 here at the Bulldog Bowl. We'll be back in 60 seconds on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back live to the Bulldog Bowl. The Hobbs Eagles trail Artesia 7-0. Last play by the Bulldogs, they said did not get off in time, so it will be 1st and 10 from the Hobbs 40. Nye with the pump fake. He was aired out on the far left sideline over the shoulder by about 4 yards. His receiver at the 12. The ball hit about at the 9, incomplete. So quick throw there for Nye. Diego was the man intended on the receiving core, incomplete on that one. So that last play right before the break of the first quarter was called back, and that was not in time, so LaRock did not get credited for his 0 yards. Incomplete on that pass, though. They're now 5 of 7 as Artesia in the passing game. They have 97 yards in the air on 5 completions.
Yeah, Estrada was trying to catch the Eagles off balance. Get him with a quick strike, didn't work.
2nd down and 10 from the 41. Go with the draw play up the middle to the 40. There's a bunch of helmets flying off now. Flags are flying everywhere. Somebody got ripped helmet on that one.
Yeah.
I believe that was LaRock up the middle that time, and Uzanaz coming before that ball got up about 2 or 3 yards in the ball carrier. Might have been a face mask. We'll have to wait and see, but they're pointing towards Hobbs on that one. I'm going to see how many yards they gave him first on the carry. Coach Maupin having a few words for the official there, making sure that did go against the Eagles. That's going to be a 3-yard gain for LaRock, and then we're going to probably have an add-on here. Hopefully not a personal foul. Oh, there it is. Yep, personal foul, face mask. Should have shut my mouth while I was behind there. 15-yard penalty for the Eagles. They've had all the penalties in this ball game for 30 yards on 4 flags. And that'll be another first down for Artesia now with 4, and they're going to move it up to the Eagle 21-yard line. So Artesia in the red zone now on the left hash. They lead 7-0 with 11:40. We talked in the pregame show about no turnovers. It cost the Eagles on the first drive on a bad kick return, but stopped them on defense. But Artesia's starting to get some momentum now, Ron.
Exactly. They are playing it just right, getting them zipping when they need to, and getting Hobbs on their heels.
Twins left and right. Nye's going to go float it out to the right corner of the end zone and jumping over the back of the Hobbs Eagle defender. This could be an INT. Yes, it is. Hobbs picks it off in the end zone. Kind of a lofting throw on that right side. And the Eagles at the big pick on that one.
They needed a big play, and that was it. They stopped the Bulldogs cold in the red zone, too, and that is definitely a momentum changer right there.
Double checking who that was diving, dove over the back on that time, and able to pick off the pass on that one. A double check on that. Still having some trouble finding out who that is, but I know the two cornerbacks, it should have been a CB out there that pretty much had a saddle put on his back. That was either Carlos Jimenez. I'm thinking that's who it was because he has the single digit. Emmanuel Murillo is the other corner, but a pickoff for the Eagles nonetheless for the first turnover of the ball game for Artesia. Hobbs had a fumble earlier, now an interception for Artesia. The man in motion left to right, fake the handoff, throw the fade to the far sideline, spiral, but overthrows the receiver, does the Eagles Beatty to the far right side to the 50 and overthrows by about 5 or 6 yards. And going out there was Jaquez. Good sprint, but he had shoulder-to-shoulder pressure there by his corner by the Artesia Bulldogs on the far right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Incomplete.
Couldn't find his mark, but definitely was trying to get the ball out there as quickly as possible. And looked like it could have been possibly a score, but either way, it definitely would have been a first down.
Eagles 3 of 5 for 51 yards in the passing game so far. A catch for Franklin for 32, 2 catches for Jaquez for 19 total. Brings up a second down and 10 now from the 20. Eagle football after the touchback on the INT. They're going to go with twins left, right, and the single receiver left. Shotgun. Going to go with the handoff up the middle and bouncing around and trying to get as many as he can as Armendariz up the gap that time. Looks like he's going to get, 3.5, close to 4 on that one. Go ahead and give him 4. Armendariz now with 4 carries for 13 yards. And the ball now at the 24-yard line of the Eagles. 10:55 remaining here in the second. 7-0 Bulldogs here on their home turf. Game number 2 of the season for both teams. They have 1-0 records. Eagles beating Clovis big last week, and the same for Artesia over Carlsbad in the Eddy County battle. Twins left, 1 receiver right. Beatty's back in shotgun as Armendariz on his right shoulder. A lot of movement going on here. Jaquez goes in motion right to make it twins on the receiving core. Fake the hand up. Beatty steps up in pocket. Fires it down the middle. The seam route up for grabs. Intercepted at the 50-yard line. Kind of a backpedal there to go up the safety. Makes the catch and the INT at midfield. He got kind of lost his balance and backed up and fell down on the ground, but he does pick it off nonetheless.
And that looked like a bit of a panic throw from Beatty. Was looking at a blitz, did not want to get caught in the backfield, and wanted to get that ball off as quickly as possible. Did not get accurate, though.
Jaron Watkins, a cornerback, comes up with the INT for the Artesia Bulldogs. Second turnover for the Eagles, and Artesia with the football at their own 45.5-yard line, right in the middle of the field at the left cheek of the Bulldog mascot. That's painted on the field. 10:27 left, second quarter. Low snap, handoff, going up the middle. Across the 50, 45, 40, angle right, 35, 30 up the near sideline, 25, 20, 15, 10, cutting back, and down to the 8-yard line. Jesse LaRock is the man with the football that time, and that's going to be.
And he's hurt.
Yeah, he went down pretty hard. He started at the 40-yard line about and finishes up at the, looks like the 8. So about a 52-yard pickup for LaRock on that one at the 6-yard line. Go back to him up the middle, and he dives forward. Looks like he scored the touchdown. No, Galindo comes in instead and gets the handoff, getting his first action of the ball game for 6 yards and the touchdown. The first rushing touchdown for the Bulldogs in this one, who now lead 13-0. Again, Galindo for 6 up the gut. So big run for LaRock. First of all, 52 yards to move the chains, and then a hurry-up offense for the Bulldogs. Getting ready for that PAT, their second of the ball game. Stepping up to kick is Philip Finley. He made the first one, although he did get swatted on the ball that last PAT. And Eagles jump off sides on the left side defense. A little bit of time for the officials to throw the yellow flags on that one, but penalty against the Eagles on that left D end.
Yeah, as the Artesia Bulldogs set up their swinging gate for their possible kickoff, or their PAT.
Half the distance to the 1.5-yard line. For a kicker, you really don't want to get closer to the crossbar there, but they're going to have to do it anyway. They might decide to go with the 2-point conversion here. Again, you mentioned the swinging gate. That definitely can get you in contention for the run play, especially the left side where you have all that blocking. But now they're going to move back into the traditional lineup here. And back to kick, just like we said a minute ago. This will be a 15-yard PAT attempt. And try to make it 14-0 here for the Bulldogs. Long snap count as we still wait for the snap. A high one, no, right back to the kicker. Finley's going to air it out right corner of the end zone. A one-handed fingertip catch, and somehow comes up with it, rolls it back into his hand, and comes down with it, chest to the ground, and the PAT for 2.
And just like that, it is 15-0. Artesia is on top of your Hobbs Eagles.
Byers comes up with a 2-point conversion. As you mentioned, 15-0. We'll come back in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Welcome back here to Bulldog Bowls. The Hobbs Eagles trail 14-0. Deshaun Franklin returns for the Eagles into Artesia, or actually to the 34, I should say, still in Hobbs territory on the left hash. Hobbs trying to get some points on the scoreboard, again down by the 15. Twins right and receivers 2 to the left side. Shotgun. Going to go with the handoff, angling right. Armendariz gets rolled up in the backfield. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage. As a quick release coming from the left side of the field. And coming up with the stop for Artesia is Jesse Armendariz, the free safety. A loss of 1 for Armendariz on that one. He's got the predominant number of carries in the first half, just 6 total, though, for 12 yards. Second down and 11 now for the Eagles at their own 34. At 9:35 remaining here in the second quarter. 3 in the front for the Artesia D. Eagles go with the Twins right, but the receiver way offside, the far right receiver for the Hobbs Eagles. And he's shaking his head on that one. He knew he was way off by about 4 yards. He just was in a sprint. I think that might have been Hawkes out there in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on that far side. Actually, no, Hawkes is over there. He's talking to the man that was flagged. Both of them now looking at the sideline to Coach Stevens to see what the next play call is going to be. We're going to stick with the double look over there on the far right. I believe that was Amarian Kennedy was the receiver that got flagged on that one. Second down and 15. The Eagles continue to rack up the penalties. They have all 5 of them so far. And we got a whistle as the snap comes. Another procedure call against Hobbs. And Ron, these are racking up at this point. That is 40 yards on 6 penalties for the Eagles.
It's hard to get a momentum of any kind if you have to worry about what you're doing, trying to avoid penalties as well. It's hard enough to face the Bulldogs, let alone face yourself and make these mental errors.
That's exactly what we talked about in the pregame show. Ken Stevens said this week, you got to cut down on the turnovers. You can't have the special team fall parts. And we start off the game with a fumble, and that might have rattled the Eagles just a bit, but they've been moving the football. They can just be consistent and try to get it closer to the red zone. Twins right and 2 receivers left, stacked on the near left sideline. 9:07 left in the half. Shotgun by himself. The pass from Beatty on the little slant to the 25, cut to the middle, 30, 35, 40, to the right hash, 50 into Artesia territory at the 48-yard line.
And that was a good gain. It was smooth. It was right on target. And in stride, he was able to get that much yardage from that short pass.
That was Salcedo picking up the big one on that one. That's going to move the first down marker. Now the 4th first down of the ball game. Now at the 48 of Artesia. 1st and 10. Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Turns and looks at the sideline for the call with twins left and right receivers. Taking some time now to get the right call as he backs up into shotgun. He has Armendariz on his left shoulder in the backfield. Good snap. Head off to Armendariz. Scampering right. Now cutting up right side around the hash mark. Falling forward and getting pulled down to the 41. He's going to get 7 on this one. Close to 8 for Armendariz. That's his biggest run of the ball game, just shy of the 40-yard line on the right hash, moving into Artesia territory. Clock to 8:14 and ticking here in the second. Eagles trailing 15-0 here in the second. We have a late flag, I believe. It looked like it might have been a face mask against Artesia. I didn't see if there was a personal foul on top of that, but we'll see if that was a movement of the helmet or not. Nope, just a short 5-yarder, but that is the first penalty of the ball game for the orange and white.
That will also make a first down for the Hobbs Eagles. I did notice that it looked like there was a flag, but I couldn't see because of all the bodies.
So that will be the 5th first down for Hobbs in this one. 1st and 10 from the 36 of the Bulldogs on the right hash. Beatty's checking his left wristband here for the play call. Has a pair of receivers left and right. Taking a lot of time here. Now the snap. He's going to throw a comeback route to the left line of scrimmage. Gets the knees taken out. The receiver makes the catch. Tries to dive forward. Might have got forward progress. About a yard carry on that one after getting the catch. Salcido coming back-to-back with another catch for the Eagles. So starting to see Mr. Salcido coming up big. That'll be his 2nd catch in a row. That one for a short amount, though, just 1 yard. He's got 2 for 22 now. 2nd down and 9. That's Salcido's 2nd catch here in the 2nd quarter at the 35, left hash. Eagles taking some time, getting the receivers out. Clock down to 7:15 left, 2nd quarter. 15-0 Artesia. Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Gets a good snap. Bobbled for a second. Back to pass. He wants to throw the post route. A high catch at the 15-yard line. Beautiful catch. They're going to say incomplete. It was juggled at the last second. The ball came squirting out. Hawkes, boy, he was acrobatic, Ron. Got the big hands up in the air. Looked like he was high jumping with his back over the bar. Up in the fingertips and the apex of the catch there. Fell backwards, back hit the turf, and looked like it squirted out at the last second.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, too, because everything else, the mechanics, everything looked great. It just the finish did not happen for the Hobbs Eagles.
Eagles 5 of 7 in the passing game so far. For 63 yards. It'll back it up to the 35. It'll make it a 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles on the left hash. Stop the clock with the incomplete. 7:02 remaining, 2nd quarter. 3 in the front line for the defense for the Artesia Bulldogs. Hobbs will send trips right, receiver left. Back with Armendariz is Beatty now, the QB. Takes a peek over the right side. He's got 3 on the game clock. Good pump fake. Steps up pocket. He wants to sail it. Corner route to the right side of the field, and it goes out of bounds. So 1 receiver through 2 defenders. Looks like a late flag called.
Could be a PI.
Receiver might have got sandwiched there. Maybe some early bumping. One of the defenders out there for Artesia was Brady McDonald. He was one of the corners. Double team. So let's see if they're going to call this, going to continue with the PI call here. Looked like both defenders were just kind of going up in the air. They do call the PI. Looked like it was Jeremiah Hawkes was out there in between the 2 defenders. That will be half the distance. No, wait a sec. No, it's at the 35, so they could go the full 15 on the penalty. 2nd penalty for Artesia here in the 2nd quarter, total of 20 yards. And that'll move it up to the 20-yard line, plus a first down for the Eagles, enough for that chain to move. 6 first downs for Hobbs now at the Artesia 20 right hash as they're knocking on the door in the red zone. Need to make up some points, though, down 15-0. Twins right, receiver left, slot right for the Eagles. Beatty back in shotgun. He's going to go with the handoff. No, fakes it, then dumps it in the right flat. Catch made behind the line of scrimmage at 20. A little hurdle action, a late flag coming in down to the 18 to the far sideline. There'll be a pickup of 2 with the tumble play. Hawkes with the catch and the tumble. So he's going to get 2 out of that one, but the flag came the minute he kind of hurdled a player. Hopefully that's not what the call is, though. So Hawkes on the 2-yard catch. Waiting to see the signal from the official here.
Here it comes in just a second.
We got a personal foul. Oh, we got head-to-head contact here, and that's going to be targeting by the Hobbs Eagles. A 15-yard penalty. That's going to hurt.
All right, so when he hurdled him, apparently his leg hit the
No, his helmet.
Oh, his helmet.
Yep, helmet-to-helmet contact,
Oh, wow.
targeting, or if somewhere above the chest up to the helmet could have been. We didn't see that. I doubt it was against him because he was just getting flipped in the air, but
Right.
must have been somebody trying to block for him, one of the receivers on that far right side. Regardless, a 15-yard penalty for the Eagles, and that's their second 15-yarder here in this first half.
Yeah, and that was his drive was looking good until that point. Hopefully they can recover after that big mistake.
Back to the 35. They got to get to the 10, so they need to get 25 yards here. Shotgun, fakes the handoff. Beatty dumps it in the right flat. Over Hawk has his head to the far right sideline. Out of play. Incomplete. He had serious pressure coming at him from the line of scrimmage, so he had to unload it. Just to take away from the sack potential there. Okay, now Eagles 7 of 10 in the passing game, 70% completion rate. Clock stops at 6:29 remaining here in the second. Hobbs down 15-0 as they're back at the 35 of Artesia. Kind of been backpedaling here with some penalties and some problems in that regard, and they definitely have a lot more penalties than Artesia. 7 total for the Eagles and just 2 for Artesia.
Definitely. Plenty to clean up for the Hobbs Eagles.
They need to get 25 yards on this one. Back of the 40 of the shotgun. Beatty fakes the handoff. Two-step drop. Fires it to the left sideline. Right to the defender. Picked off of the 19 and coming down with for Artesia. Just waiting for it. David Hammond, the cornerback. Nobody around him that time on the near right sideline in front of the Artesia bench. And another pickoff for Artesia. And that will be the second INT for the Eagles. A fumble on the kick return to start the game. So 3 turnovers, exactly what Dr. Stevens did not order as the head coach of the Eagles.
Yeah, not only that, but don't throw it to David Hammond because he intercepted 3 times last week, and he is bound to do it again tonight. So far, he got a good one there.
Artesia offense not wasting any time to get their squad out on the field. They're at the 20-yard line of their own at the right hash. Ready for the shotgun is Estrada. Going to give the handoff delay to the right side, stretching it out to the near sideline, tiptoeing and getting bombed out of with a helmet shot to the chest. Very short pickup there for Frankie Galindo. Galindo had a touchdown run for 6 yards. This time just 1 on mostly lateral running that time. Does stop the clock as he gets out of bounds, though. 6:15 left here in the second. Still 15-0 Bulldogs. I'm actually going to say he went out earlier, so a -1 for him that time for the Hobbs Eagles help on that one. Second down and 11 from the 19-yard line of the Bulldogs. Trips left, receiver right. Back in shotgun is Estrada. Has the rock back with him. Gets a good snap. Going to go with the option look. Flips it out to the right side. Stutter step. Pushing off a defender to the 20. 25. Trying to drag some people with him. Actually not getting to the 25. Stopped to the 23, 24. Trying to push people off of him that time was Galindo again. Good rush coming in for the Hobbs Eagles. And delivering that first blow for the Hobbs defense was Zayden McPherson, the linebacker. So he's able to bounce off and get some positive out of that one. 4 yards for Galindo, 3 carries for 9. 5:40 left here in the second. Back to shotgun. Quickly goes Estrada. Trips left, receiver right. Low snap, 3-step drop. Fires the out route to the 30. Catch made, out of bounds at the 31. That's going to be a 9-yard pickup on the near side.
That'll be enough for a first down.
And coming up with that catch was Matthew Saez, getting his first of the ball game. 6th first down for the Artesia Bulldogs at the 31. Artesia going to take some more time. I do believe he got out of bounds, and the clock stopped at 5:32. Artesia now going to meet in a huddle, which we haven't seen much in this first half.
No, they don't do it very often. And I've got an update for you from Roswell. At the end of the first quarter, they're leading Santa Fe 35-0.
Ooh, big blowout there. The Coyotes on a roll. Trips left, receiver right. Back to shotgun again is Estrada. 2-step drop, back of the 24. Scampering, gets pressure. There might be some holding in the backfield. A flag flies. Rolls left. Big wobble roll to the 30. Throws a pass down to the 50. The catch is made, but I think this one's coming back.
Right.
That's going to be possibly looks like a 19-yard play, but the catch made at the 50. But I think we're coming back on a hold. Way too much time for that quarterback to mess around in the backfield, and the official says there was a hold by Artesia. So that will be a 10-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. That'll be just their 3rd here in the first half for 30 yards.
Yeah, so negate that play. Hobbs did well enough to get to the quarterback, make him scramble, but yeah, that hold definitely helps the Hobbs Eagle cause.
Clock will stop until they get a reset here. 5:22 remaining in the second. Artesia leading by 15. You got to think that Coach Mopp would like to add some insurance points here, have more of a cushion at halftime, though, Ron.
Oh, of course you would. I mean, definitely. I mean, this Hobbs Eagles offense and defense It can be deadly if they can get their feet set, if they can get their momentum going. They can definitely be a contender and a threat.
1st and 20 from the 21. They're going to go at the handoff. LaRock angling right, tries to cut it back. 25, heads back to the right sideline to the 30 and is put down. Back to the original line of scrimmage. And he's going to get 11 on the play. Again, they get him back to line of scrimmage. That's Galindo, his best carry of the night. He's got 4 carries for 20 yards. Ball's at the 30. So actually, they're only going to give him 10 on that, 10 on that play. So he did not get back to the original line. 2nd down and 11 from the 29. Back to pass, dumping the right flat on the pass play to the 30, and barreling straight ahead. A 4-yard pickup, getting his head down hard that time for Artesia was Frankie Galindo again. Castro comes in for the linebacking core for the Eagles to put a blow on him head-to-head. So Galindo with his first catch of the ball game for 4 yards. Be 3rd down and 7 from the 34 of the Bulldogs right hash. 4:30 left in the half, and that was kept in bounds, the clock ticking. Shotgun, go at the delay handoff, angling right, LaRock to the 35, trying to drag defenders with them. Eagles go to 1-2 punch on the near right sideline in front of Artesia's bench. So Galindo maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. If he's lucky, they have to unravel all the tacklers on that one for the Eagles. First guy wrapping up bear hug style for the Eagles, Gustavo Diaz Castro, once again the linebacker. He was the leading tackler last week against Clovis with 13, Ron. He's a tough cookie to mess with.
Yeah, another one in there that was doing a lot of damage was Carlos Jimenez.
So a couple of guys coming in from the linebacking core. 4th down and looks like 14 now for Artesia. They're at their own 35.5-yard line on the right hash. And it is a 4th down situation. Late sub checking into the line of scrimmage for Artesia, Cody Johnson. And Eagles are going to bring 2 back deep to their 30-yard line. We got a stoppage here. I think there's going to be a timeout on the field. Artesia just completely messed up. One of their another players was on the sideline, and coach just countered and said we only got 10 out there. So it calls the timeout. 3:38 left here in the second quarter. Artesia still up 15-0 over your Eagles. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live here at the Bulldog Bowl. Ty friend Ron Gunner, and Ron, 15-0. Even though you're down by that many points, it's not really out of reach here at this point. A pretty seesaw battle to start it off. A couple turnovers have hurt the Eagles, though.
Yeah, both sides have had a little bit of mistakes. Unfortunately, though, for Hobbs, they've been making more, especially with the penalties, and they definitely need to get back on the right track, and they want to do it in this quarter.
Artesia, though, faced with a 4th down and 14. They're definitely going to punt the ball at their own 35-yard line on the right hash. And so we're going to get the ball booted away from the 25-yard line. Nice spiral for just a second. Eagles trying to get a fair catch. He's hit hard. I'm not really sure if he got his hand up in the air to try to get the fair catch. That was Hawkins in the area, middle of the field. Late flag for the far right official. And, boy, it took a long time for that flag to come. The question was, did the arm get up in the air? And now we got another flag drop in here, so I guess they had a conference, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
It doesn't matter. You have to give a room around for that.
Right.
Even if he doesn't throw his hand up, he's got to be able to catch that ball. He was hit while the ball got there, so that's definitely a 15-yarder for Hobbs. So they're getting back into it as far as getting their yardage, and they should be able to get better yardage because of that silly little foul.
That's the 4th penalty against Artesia. They're 2 big 15-yarders here in the second quarter for 45 yards total. So they'll mark it up 15 on the personal foul call there, as never a chance for Hawkins to make a catch, as you mentioned, down to the 36, making the 37-yard line. Middle of the field for Hobbs, who trail by 15 with 3:29 remaining. I think the Eagles definitely want to get in the end zone here, kind of take off some of the sting of that early lead for Artesia. Hobbs kind of looking back at the white cap to make sure he's ready to go here. And now checking out the play call from Coach Stevens. 1st and 10 again from the 37. Back to shotgun goes Beatty. He has a slot left, single setback behind there. Armendariz, man in motion right to left. They're going to go with the reverse to the right side, scamper to the 35, dragging a defender back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think that's going to get any positive yardage on that one.
Maybe a yard at best.
Hawkins went in motion left and tried to cut back to the right, got the ball, and kind of stutter stepped in front of Beatty in the backfield that time before he got the handoff and might have got caught in traffic. And I think they might have gave him line of scrimmage on that one, so Hawk has no gain in the play. 3 carries for 20 yards, though, so far. Did have a 19-yarder in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10, Hobbs football at the 37. Still on their side of the field with 2:55 and counting in the second. Down by 15. Twins right, receiver left, bring a man in motion right to left. Fake the handoff, give the hand to the tight, or the let me just say the tailback in the back, but they have a penalty as that handoff is coming. Procedure against the Eagles. And that will be the penalty against Hobbs. So they continue to rack them up so far. 8 penalties in this first half for 60 yards. That's backing them up 5 there to the 31.
It's really hard to win a game when you're always going backwards.
Official gets the clock reset here down to 2:43. 2nd down and 15 for the Eagles at the 31 on the right hash. Eagles burn a little time here as they wait for the play call. Beatty up to the line, now backing out to the shotgun. Beatty has his trusty partner back there, Armendariz, on his right shoulder. Back to pass, 2-step drop, pump fake, down the middle. He's going to let it loose on the seam right over the shoulder, waiting for it. Ball gets knocked out of his hands down at the 25. And a nice job of getting between those 2 defenders, but kind of bounced off pinball style there. What a great effort as the 2 orange jerseys kind of crunching on him. And getting a piece of the football, it's kind of lofted out across of his fingertips that time as he reaches out for it. As a pass intended for the Eagles to, I believe that was, double check who that number is, Deshaun Franklin, the intended receiver.
Yes.
Good athleticism there to get between the 2 defenders. Got his hands stretched out in front of him, bounced off his fingers, but he got a blow from both sides of his shoulder pads the minute he got the fingertip control on that one and came squirting out. 3rd down and 15 for the Eagles at their own 31. Clock did stop on the incomplete. 2nd down and make it 3rd down and 15. Beatty back to shot, Twins left and right, give the handoff to Armendariz, tries to slide left, cuts back up the middle, 30, 35, spins around and backpedals for another. He's going to get 4 on that one, does Armendariz. Continues to get 8 carries in this ball game. 23 yards on the ground, but it's a 4th down situation. As he gets back to the original line of scrimmage and make it a 4th and 10. Now Hobbs tried to run a fake punt earlier in this game, but they called a penalty on that one, and then they pulled the flag up, and that's what got Coach Stevens out on the field to question it. Completely messed up the complexion of the game at that point. So Hobbs, I think for sure this time would want to punt it. We're not giving Artesia 155 to try to get one more touchdown if it messed up and didn't get the 1st down. Hobbs getting some problems with making sure the receivers on the left side there running over quickly to reset, and now one receiver from the left running all the way back over to the right side as they switch their receiving core lineup. So Beatty's back ready to punt, and now we got a timeout. So some confusion here. They're not pointing towards Hobbs yet, so maybe it's an official time. Let's wait.
It's a delay of game, I believe.
That's even worse. Yeah, Beatty just shaking his head now, and that's definitely going to be a point of concern for Coach Stevens at halftime is we can't afford any more of these yellow handkerchiefs on the green turf.
Exactly. He is tired with the laundry being on the floor or on the ground, and definitely is going to be talking about that at halftime.
75 yards in penalties on total of 9 foul calls here in the first half. Eagles down 15. Hawkins goes in motion left to right. High snap. Beatty able to come down with the 20. Has to quick kick it, though. Sidewinder to the far left sideline. Takes a big roll, but it's going to go towards Hobbs and now back towards Artesia. And he'll stop with a stop at the 34-yard line as a touchdown by the Eagles. And coming up with the stop for Hobbs on the football was Shamus Wright, the freshman for the Eagles. He started last week at a cornerback position and playing some special teams here. So Artesia will get another possession, and of course they're the type of team that loves to work the clock management, love to get those outside out routes and get out of bounds, stop the clock, and they love to add to that 15-0 lead if they can get an opportunity.
Yeah, if any indication it was last year that we both sides scored so many, you know that Artesia is just chopping at the bit, even though they are walking off a penalty.
15-yarder called against Artesia for something. We didn't get to see what that was about, although sometimes they don't give you the holding only. So it looked like they marked off 15 there, but a 10-yard penalty. That's the 5th on the Bulldogs for 55 yards. So they're starting to add them up. I think all those have been in the second quarter, maybe 1 5-yarder in the first, and the rest have been second quarter fouls.
Well, remember, holding is at the spot of the foul, so it could have been further away.
You're right. That's correct. This looked like a big mark-off regardless. At the 19 now, 1st and 10 on the left hash for Artesia. Looks like they're just going to try to hold the ball here and run some clock run. We'll see what they're going to do with the bunched-up formation, split in the backfield. Shotgun, rolling right will be Nye. Little stutter step, heads of the angle right to the 25, plowing ahead with the big wall in front of him out to the 32. And that should be a first down, a 12-yard pickup. Oh, Casares came in on that one. So that will be a first down for Casares. He's the backup quarterback. You were talking about him in the pregame show being very quick out there.
Exactly, and he's more of a runner than a passer.
That's the 7th first down. It's at the 32. 1st and 10 from the right hash. Artesia football with 104 remaining, second quarter, up by 15. We got a formation problem here. Flags are flying as the snap comes back. And that'll be a procedure against Artesia. Looked like he might have had 2 guys in motion that time, a 5-yarder. So even though Hobbs is racking up penalties, and we were starting to see a lot in the second quarter for the Artesia Bulldogs, I don't think Coach Maupin is going to look the other way at halftime when talking about that as well.
No, they're trying to do a little too much and just got caught with that procedure.
First down and 15 from the 29-yard line. The handoff to the tailback, comes up the gut, tries to backpedal his way to the 34, and a 6-yard pickup that time for Galindo. Galindo now has 6 carries so far for 26 yards and a touchdown. And that'll be a timeout for the Bulldogs as they'll face a 2nd down and 9 at their own 34-yard line. 48 seconds left in the half. Artesia 15-0 over your Hobbs Eagles. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the HobbsAmerica.com, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and Cool 95.7 on the radio. .48 seconds left in the first half. Eagles down 15-0 to Artesia. Their Bulldogs facing a 2nd down and 17, or make it 9, I should say. Nine's going to go up the middle. Quarterback keeper to the 40. Heads to the near sideline to the 45 and out of bounds. He's going to get 11. He needed to get about 9, so plus 2 extra than what he needed. So 11 for Nye to move the chains for Artesia, or make that Estrada. Nye's his first name. That's 3 carries for 19, and he gets out of bounds. Good clock management there. The 8th first down of the ball game for the Bulldogs, now at the right hash of the 45 of the orange and black.
Yeah, they're moving the ball, but do they have enough time to get it into the end zone?
Trips left, receiver right for the Bulldogs. Estrada in the shotgun by himself. Pump fake to the left flat, and he wants to throw it down the near sideline right, over the shoulder, coming back for it. Trying to backpedal and then to try to come back to the football, though. And losing it short is Matthew Saez. His defender was actually looking towards the quarterback, kind of backpedaling with him at the 30-yard line, incomplete. So that will not go for good on that one for Artesia.
It was a nice throw, but just could not get it to his receiver, thankfully.
Artesia 7 of 9 in the passing game so far. Ball back at the 45-yard line, a 2nd down and 10 from the right hash. Clock stop with 34 seconds left on the incomplete. And a 15-0 Artesia lead. Much different than what we saw last year at this point in time. I think was it 76 points at halftime. Hobbs up 41-35 at Watson Stadium. Eagles outscored the Bulldogs 28-13 in the second half, winning 69-48 with 117 points total in that game. Artesia looked to the sideline, pulls out of their play call. Coach Maupin changes it. And we got to delay a game now against the Bulldogs, so we've seen that about 4 or 5 times in this contest, mostly for the Hobbs Eagles, but that's going to back up Artesia that time. 7 penalties at this point. Back in shotgun again, 2nd and 15. Back to pass 9 with a 2-step drop, rolls left, sliding to left side to the 44, throws it down to the 48-yard line, caught coming across the half line of the field, and that will be for 11 yards. Little stutter step to get out of bounds. Double checking to see who that was over there. 11-yard pickup. Looks like we'll have to double check on who that was, but that's an 11-yard pickup for Artesia. That will be the 8th reception of the ball game. First down again. That'll be 9, or make it 3rd down and short, I should say, 3rd and 2. Back to pass Nye on the left He'll sail it down the left side of the field on the nice little spiral that time over the shoulder, but it sails out of bounds at about the 8, incomplete. And the Hobbs Eagles with some good pressure on that far sideline on the intended receiver as it was intended for Juan Diego Duran. incomplete. Clock stop with 20 seconds left. 4th and 2 for Artesia off the incomplete pass. So Artesia can get one more opportunity to get a first down here with the clock getting way down here in the second quarter. Twins right, receiver left for the Bulldogs. 4th down and 2 from the Hobbs Eagle 47-yard line. Shotgun, 3-step drop for Nye back at the 45. Throws down on the little curl on the 40. Catch is made, and that will be a first down, 9-yard pickup. So 9 yards on the pick for the Bulldogs. As coming up with it is Ethan Kahn. Kahn, his second catch of the ball game, 11 yards total. And that is a first down, which would be 10 on the game for the Bulldogs. A timeout on the field for Artesia. Clock stop with 13 seconds. We'll keep it right here. And Artesia looks like they definitely want to score, but they do have an injury down on the field too.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. It looks like it's not a good one either. He's on his back right now as they are tending to him. Oh, he is able to get, well, maybe not straight up, but he is able to get up.
Right now, Artesia 9 of 12 in the passing game, 75% in terms of the connections for the quarterback, Estrada. Looks like the injured player for Artesia is Garrett Fisher, one of the guards for the Orange squad. He's going to take his time to get off the field. The trainer is standing right next to him, but coming off without much attention in terms of physical attention, we should say. Just getting some high fives from some teammates as he leaves the field. Again, 13 seconds left, second quarter, 15-0. We've been stuck here for quite a long time. Artesia scored first on a 4-yard pass in the first quarter. Galindo a 6-yard run in the second here, and now with the 2-point conversion to Byers on the pass play, they lead 15-0. 1st and 10 from their 40, or Hobbs 40. Back to pass. Estrada throws the out route, catch at the 30, and out of bounds quickly. Sixias looks like he might have been shy of the first down by about a yard. That's his second catch of the game for 19.
Nope, first down.
Nope, they're going to give him 10, so he will move the chains. That's the 11th first down for the Bulldogs. They're 10 of 13 in the passing game. So and definitely working some clock management here with 9 seconds. He got out of bounds, too, which is what you want to do with the clock dwindling. Do they have any timeouts remaining here? Yes, it looks like they do have.
Yes.
It says 2 up there on the scoreboard. 1st and 10 from the 29 of the Eagles on the right hash. Bulldog football with the trips left, receiver right. Shotgun for Estrada, claps his hands, goes back 3 on the drop. Gets flushed out of the pocket, rolls right to the 35. He's going to fire it into the end zone, right corner. The receiver comes back diving for it. They're going to call it a touchdown or not. Yes. It's going to be close. 29-yarder. They do signal a touchdown. Took a little bit of time that time. And Galindo comes back for it as he kind of rolls to the right side of the end zone. Came back on a short throw. And Galindo scores a 29-yarder off the throw from Estrada.
And that was a nice rollout over there, too, for the Artesia Bulldogs. Unfortunately, Hobbs wasn't able to get there in time to defend it, and it was a fairly easy rollover for another touchdown for the Bulldogs.
So Galindo has 1 passing touchdown reception and a rushing touchdown. Was he the one that did that last week, I believe, against somebody had a single on each side, a pass and a rush last week against Carlsbad, I remember. I'll double check who that was for Artesia. But regardless, it's 21-0 Artesia as we wait for the kicking PAT from Philip Finley. Kick is up, and it's a sidewinder. Gets inside the right upright, good. 2 seconds left in the first half. Hobbs will get 1 chance for a return here, but they trail the Bulldogs 22-0 here on the road at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. Back in 30 seconds right here on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Artesia Bulldogs extend their lead to 22-0 here at the Bulldog Bowl over the Hobbs Eagles, coming off a 29-yard pass from Estrada to Galindo. His second touchdown of the game, a rush and a pass reception for a score. So Hobbs with the last chance here with a kickoff return to try to get some points on the scoreboard. Galindo kicks off from the 40, or Finley, I should say. Takes a roll off at Hobbs Eagle. It's loose, and the Eagles have to dive on it back at the 28. So Hobbs having some trouble on the kick returns. Something Coach Stevens talked about in the week of practice, that they had to get back in track on the special teams, but Hobbs does recover the football, but no chance for any possession here as we end the first half.
No, there's still 1 second left on the clock.
Now, why would you have 1 second left?
I don't know. I thought that was going to be one of those situations where it was going to run out the clock with 2 seconds. But
yeah, the ball hit off a player and it rolled backwards unless there was a penalty. Not sure what that was all about. So
one last chance. They're going to have to do a Hail Mary to see if Hobbs can get on the scoreboard for halftime.
Yeah, 27-yard line. I'll have to check at halftime what that was all about because the ball was deflected, so I don't know why the stoppage there. And then we just got a kneel down as the the shotgun going to Beatty about halfway up, comes up for it and just kneels his knee down, so no play really there. -1 as we end the first half of action. We'll double check on see what happened on that last call, but at the half, the Eagles have to do a lot of rebuilding. Lots of penalties, too many turnovers. Not the recipe for success on the road at Artesia, the defending 4A state champs. We'll be back in 3 minutes live with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live here at the Bulldog Bowl. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing at the half, 22-0 to Artesia. Both teams coming in with a 1-0 record. Big wins for Hobbs last week over Clovis. Artesia blew out Carlsbad. But the shutout so far for the Bulldogs, definitely based on the turnover so far in the first half, Ron. A total of 3 for the Eagles, 2 on the interceptions, 1 on the fumble, but they also had a turnover on down. So if you want to add that one, that's 4. A couple of punts thrown in there as well. But really the start of the game with the kickoff return fumble, giving the possession close to the red zone to get the game going for Artesia. Didn't score on that one. The defense comes up big on a 4th and short, but able to stop that drive. But a few seconds later, Artesia getting their ball back, able to put it in the end zone and then extend the lead to 22. Duran got a 4-yard pass. Also, Galindo a 6-yard run for a touchdown and a 29-yard pass to Galindo for his second TD of the ball game, a pass and a run with that 22-0 lead. They also added a 2-point conversion with Byers for one of the scores as well. So that's one of those situations where psychologically you start to see some crumbling, and you can't really just give up at that point. You got to get yourself back in the ball game. It's something that I'm sure Coach Stevens is going to be narrowing in on right now at halftime to say, clean up the mistakes. I mean, don't cause yourself a loss here. I mean, if something you can't, the game goes down to the wire, you can't win it, that's one thing. But don't have the backups on the penalties. That's another issue. We just keep going backwards.
Right.
9 penalties, 65 yards, and a couple drives were pushed back because of that. And just too many mistakes. And, I mean, it's easy to say that up here, but at the same time, that's what's the difference in this ball game right now.
But no, a good player will know that as soon as he makes that mistake, he shouldn't have done that at all. And the coach is going to say the same thing. You know better than that. You know exactly how to play. You proved it during scrimmage. You proved it last week. You can do it again. The good thing about this game is I know it's 22 down, but Hobbs still has plenty of time to get back if they can correct their mistakes. Do not fight yourself, because that's what they're doing every time they do these silly little 5-yard, 15-yard penalties. They are going backwards instead of forward. As we all know, you always want to go forward. That's the only way you can score on these in these games. And Hobbs needs to just clean it up a lot and try to get Artesia to start making some mistakes as well. It's easy to do. You just have to get them out of sync, maybe even just show them some looks that they're not comfortable with, used to. Whatever it is that they need to do, Hobbs needs to do it, and they need to start the third quarter off on the right foot. They're going to be kicking the ball, so we know that Artesia is going to get the ball, unless, of course, it happens to be that same thing that happened with Hobbs in the first of this game where they lost the ball. Artesia could do the same thing. If Hobbs can get the ball and get on offense, that would definitely be a momentum boost for them in this game.
And they better be ready for the starburst, because that's exactly what they're going to get from Coach Moppet in this Artesia Bulldogs squad. Let's look at the numbers in the first half. First for Artesia. So far the leader on the run game, LaRock, has 8 carries for 74 yards. He had a long of 52. Definitely that's the biggest of the night for anybody, but all of his other runs are single digits. So he's 8 for 74. A big drop-off after that. Galindo, 6 carries for 26 yards, including a 6-yard rushing touchdown. Estrada, the quarterback, 3 for 19 in the first half. Caceres, the backup QB, came in for a rush for 12 yards, and Lopez had a carry for 7. So they had 4 different guys with the football in the first half. 19 carries, 138 yards on the running game so far for the Bulldogs. Already they've had 7 receivers with receptions in the game. Saez, 2 for 20. Duran had 2 for 54, including both double digits, 40 and 14. Caceres, 1 for 30. Kahn was 2 for 11, including a 4-yard reception for a touchdown. Lopez had a catch for 9. Galindo with 2 catches for 33 yards, and then one other catch for 11 yards for the Artesia Bulldogs. So far, the quarterback Estrada is 11 of 14 in the passing game, 158 yards so far in the first half in the passing department. So 296 total unofficially for Artesia, close to 300 yards of offense in the first half. They've given up on downs once. That was the first drive of the ball game, which the defense for Hobbs stepped up big as the turnover on the kickoff gave Artesia a major gift on that first series.
Right.
Also, 7 penalties for 61 yards. I think there was only 1 penalty for Artesia in the first quarter. It was 5 yards. The rest of it, the 55 or so yards after that, all in the second quarter. So they really shot themselves in the foot and given Hobbs some more chances with the penalty markers. Hobbs Eagle numbers so far, not big in the terms of either pass or rush, but the rushing game so far, 13 carries for 51 yards. Armendariz, the workhorse so far, with 8 for 23. Hawkes has gone in motion several times for some handoffs, a big one for 19, but ended up 3 for 20 in the first half. And then it was one other player getting a carry for 9 yards. in that first half of action. So that's pretty much where it is at this point. 13 carries for 51 in the first half in the rushing game. Passing department, it's been 7 receptions out of 11 attempts for Beatty to his receivers. The leader, Jaquez, with the most catches so far, 3 for 21. 1 for 12 is his big at this point. Franklin had a big one for 32 yards, so he's had 1 catch. And then 1 for Salcedo. Make it 2 for Salcedo. Zach Salcedo with 2 catches for 22 yards. So total, again, 7 receptions for the Hobbs Eagles. They've had a total of 81 yards so far in the first half from the passing game. So 132 yards of total offense for Hobbs compared to Artesia's 296. So double plus for the Bulldogs in the first half. Hobbs with 9 penalties for 65 yards. The big difference has been turnovers. 2 interceptions, a fumble, turnover on down. So there's 4 of them right there, and a couple of punts on top of that. Hobbs has managed those 6 first downs in the first half, but a lot more for Artesia. They've doubled up with 12 in their first half of action. So we've already talked about what is being discussed at half. Cut back on the penalties, keep the hold of the football, don't give it away, and some dire situations on special teams. And I think Starburst is on that chalkboard right now with Coach Stevens saying we don't want some crazy touchdown for Artesia to add to the scoreboard here.
Yeah, that's usually what Hobbs does is tries to either kick it short so it doesn't get anywhere near that Starburst area, or they kick it overward or over their heads so that way it doesn't. Either way, it isn't a factor in the game. That's what I would do. I would try to keep it out of the on the field.
The deep sections, yeah.
Definitely, because if you give them a chance to do the starburst, they can definitely do damage. They can get at least 30 yards and good field position. And right now, that is exactly what you don't want to have is the Bulldogs a good field position to start this third quarter.
And the thing about it is, too, last year we did have a kicker that was consistent on kicking out of the end zone because he was told to do so. But here, that would stop the starburst, but the leg is not as strong as what we saw last year. But that doesn't mean it's not a good leg, but it's a different situation. Before we go to back to the break here to the studio, let's get our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle football this season.
Absolutely. We want to thank them so much for the sponsors. Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, Lee County State Bank, TDS, Forest Tire, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you very much for your sponsorship.
22-0. Artesia leads Hobbs at the half. We'll come back in 3 minutes, getting ready for second half action on your Hobbs Eagle Network. Still at halftime here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany back at the station. Hobbs having a hole to dig out of in the second half. 22-0. Artesia leading at this point. Again, they've got the most state championships in the state of New Mexico. 31 for the Bulldogs coming off their win last year. Coach Maupin getting his first championship as a Artesia coach. Coach Stevens, 9-2 record last year as well. Unfortunately lost in the first round of the playoffs, but very exciting game last year with that 117-point score. The Eagles getting the 21-point victory in that one. So hopefully Eagles have a game plan for the second half to get back in it. We got scores coming around the area so far tonight, Ron, including an earlier game, Lovington going on the road to Texas.
Exactly, and it's still going on. Third quarter, Seminole up big, 62-14 over Lovington. Also, Carlsbad is playing Goddard right now in the second, and it is a blank for Goddard, 21-0, and that is in the second. Roswell is up big on Santa Fe. Just got the update on that third quarter, 52-6. Jal doing pretty well against Tularosa in the second. It is 14-0, and Eunice at halftime at Estacado. No, not Estacado, but Estancia.
There you go.
And that is 21-6. I just sometimes have to say it in my head first, and it's hard to do it when you're talking. So those are all scores updates right now for you as we have 2 more minutes for warm-ups.
We were mentioning Artesia with 31 state championships, but a lot of people don't realize that we've got a lot of Lee County teams that are in the top 10 for most state championships. You mentioned some of those teams just a minute ago. Lovington is second in the state with 19 championships. That's 12 less than Artesia, who has the record of 31 as of last year. But pretty impressive for the Wildcats in their showing this year, of course, the last couple of years in the 3A division. Eunice is at number 3. We usually talk about Eunice baseball, but football is just right up there with that. 16 state championships for Eunice, third in the state of New Mexico. Pretty impressive there. And then the Jal Panthers, too, number 6 in the state with 12 championships. So there you go with 3 out of the 4 of those teams in the Lee County area, and pretty impressive. And then you look at Lovington, 19 championships out of 27 championship appearances, so they only lost 8 games when they make it to the championship. Eunice, 16 out of 25 when they've been in,
right.
And Jal, 12 out of 22, which is more than 50% of the time they get in the final, they're going to win the ball game. So that's pretty neat to have that many teams, 3 out of Lee County, that are in that top echelon of the state football team.
Of course, you know, when Ken Stevens left Eunice, there was talk about the fact that they may not be able to continue their winning streak. However, they did, and of course, also Ken Stevens going to Hobbs, they thought that it would improve their program right away. It took a little time, but I think we are seeing some very good points, especially last week. Tonight, we need to work on them a little bit, but I think if anybody can do it, it is Ken Stevens can get back into this game. All he has to do is score 3 times, be able to get back into it, and do that within 2 quarters.
That's correct. And, of course, the Eagles trying to get their running game on track just a little bit. They haven't really seen a lot of a big-time double-digit gains, except Hawkes did the 19-yarder. We're seeing some good motions, though. Hawkes has got a lot of speed as he comes either out of the receiver or slot position around the ends, and sometimes those plays, it takes a little bit of time to advance because you're running so much laterally towards the sideline. You got to get some pretty decent blocks from your receivers to cut back up, and sometimes Artesia's been out there to kind of run them out of bounds or whatever. But 19 to start, Hawkes getting that run really helped. Armendariz, 8 carries for 23. Real short stuff at this point, just a 7-yarder who's long for 2 quarters of play. But we'll start to see him hopefully advance down the field. But they got to get those key blocks. That's the problem. I mean, these guys can run laterally all they need to, but then to get that go-ahead blow, that's what you definitely want to see. And, again, penalties got to be erased a bit. Passing game so far, those 7 receptions, but still – you got some guys like Hawkes, we mentioned already. He can run the slot, he can get down the field and get past some people, and hopefully we can make a connect on him. Secondary on the Hobbs defense, is there heavy weak spots at this point, or is it kind of a bend, don't break? I mean, it is 22-0, but it took Artesia a long time to get those 22 points.
Yeah, he was, Estancia was having some trouble, not Estancia, the quarterback for the Estrada. Estrada was having trouble getting his rhythm in. He finally got it, but it was due to the fact that the secondary of the Hobbs Eagles was slowing him down, was making him look for his receivers, and in some cases made him run. And, he just does not want to run. He'd rather pass and get it over with and see the big plays happen.
Yeah, we saw some long passes, too, that get through some receivers' hands, maybe 4 or 5 yards past him a little bit. A beautiful catch, though, that last touchdown. Galindo coming back towards the goal line to kind of roll under the ball and make the catch and to put the game up to 22-0. But Hobbs is going to have to kick off here as we get the second half started. And here we go from the 40-yard line. A low and a blooper takes a roll into 35 area and in Artesia territory. It's a big pile up here. They'll have to unload this one to see who got the recovery. Artesia looks like they got the orange on the bottom. So they're able to hold on to the football. They dodge a bullet. Hobbs wanted to return the favor. We saw the start of the ball game as the Eagles fumbled the opening kickoff. Recovered for the Bulldogs on that last play, Derek Warren, as he saves their squad a major problem there. Hobbs have been knocking on the door almost at the same spot that Artesia got the ball to start the game on the fumble.
Exactly, and that would have given them a big boost, Hobbs Eagles would have had if they would have gotten it. However, they're going to start on defense. I'm sure they're very prepared for that as well.
Right in the middle of the field at the 35-yard line, the Bulldogs football. Twins make it now, Twins left. Now Trips left, single receiver right. As Estrada waits for the shotgun. He's taking some time. LaRock on his right shoulder. Has something to say to his wide receiver on the right side. Three-step drop, has a lot of time, throws the out route, coming back, a diving attempt to the 42. I'm not sure if he got the underneath it. Yes, he did. They're going to go ahead and give it to him. And that'll be an 8-yard pickup. Sias is the man that comes up with it that time, so 8 yards. That's his third catch for 28 total. And Artesia is now 12 out of 15 in the passing game, 75% completion rates. Second down and 2 now from their own 42 on the right hash. Eagles have a 3-man front now. Trips left, receiver right, definitely pass prevent. Fakes a handoff, throws the screen to the right side, the catch of the 40, brings it down to the 45, and that's going to be enough for the first down, it appears, maybe 4 on the reception. And it's just kind of scaled over to the near sideline. Is coming up with the catch for Artesia was Matthew Sias again, as he gets 4, and it's now 3 catches for 32 yards and another Artesia first down.
Got an assist from a linebacker, was able to get across the first down line.
So 13 first downs for Artesia, 1st and 10 from their own 47. Boy, the receiver left side ran off quick, and they didn't call the offsides. They run up the middle to the 45-40, 35-30, and down to the 27-yard line, a first down pickup. So they're taking some time to get this. 28, looks like 29 yards for Galindo on the carry. That's his biggest of the night. Galindo now with 7 carries for 55 yards. And Artesia's starting to really rumble quickly here in the third quarter with 14 first downs total. And now they're getting quickly back on the offense. 2 trips left, receiver right.
And with LaRock possibly hurt, we may be seeing him run more.
Shifting from right to left, shoulder in the backfield is Lopez for Artesia. Shotgun. Back to pass Estrada. He's going to be shuffled out to the left. There's a flag near the line of scrimmage. Could be a hold. He fires it down the far left sideline, up for grabs. It might have been caught. Is it in the play or not? Touch-toe football over there on the left sideline near about the 2-yard line. But I think this is coming back anyway with the flag near the line of scrimmage. It might be a hold.
It definitely is. It looked like he was rolling to the left. It would definitely be a hold in that area.
So 10 yards against Artesia. That is their 8th penalty for 60, or make it 75 yards here in this ball game. And that would have been a catch at the 2-yard line, but it's coming back on that one. Again, it's still 22-0 as Artesia leads here in the third quarter with 10:58 left. Hobbs Eagles' second game on the road back-to-back. They'll be at home next week against Roswell Friday night, 6:45 pregame, kickoff at 7. First down and 20 now at the 40-yard line. Artesia in Hobbs territory on the left hash. They'll send a couple receivers left, 2 to the right side. And shotgun again for Estrada. Gets the snap, gives the handoff to Galindo, heads outside to the right, gets a block from the receiver, 40, 35, 30, near sideline, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, into the end zone for the touchdown, a 40-yard run. As Galindo is starting to really speed it up here in Artesia. That's his second carry in the third quarter for 69 yards just by itself. And now it's extended to a 28-0 lead, and that kid's burner just keep going about halfway through the run, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, and he got a wide open field there. It looked like it was just blown coverage by the defense, but either way, just a wide open run and just all the way in, barely even touched for the touchdown.
Swinging gate formation for the Artesia Bulldogs in the PAT. They continue to kick out of this, though, and it looks like that's what they'll be doing again. Finley will be the man to punch it through if he gets an opportunity. And the line's taking a little bit of time to get lined up here for the traditional kick through the uprights. Hobbs did get a block on the first PAT attempt, and it went through the upright barely. This is another low kick. It's going right, though, and you can tell it shanked off his foot the minute it left to the right side of the right upright. So no good on the PAT. 10:49 remaining, though. Artesia extends their lead to 28-0 here in the third. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Artesia back on the scoreboard, a 40-yard run for Galindo, making it 28-0. Missed PAT off to the right on the kick for the Bulldogs, but Hobbs definitely has a hole to dig out of and a big shovel needed quickly as Artesia will be kicking off again. So Hobbs trailing by 4 touchdowns at this point. A lot of a difference from compared to last year's game where the Eagles were up big for most of it, winning by 21. Here comes the kickoff from the 40. It's a roller to about the 40. The Eagles sliding down, and the linemen come up with it for Hobbs. Good finger control on that football and sliding down to the turf.
Yeah, trying to catch him off guard, out of balance, and wanted to get the ball back for another possible score. But Hobbs alert and ready for that ball, and good field position so far. Hopefully they can make something happen this time.
That was Xavier Alvarado who came with the slide coverage on that kick, and now the Eagles got good field position at the 41 near the left hash mark. They trail 28-0. Eagles go with the twins right and left. Make it twins right, single receiver left. Single slot right. Beatty going to fake the handoff right, tries to cut to the left to the 40, breaks one tackle, but then his bear hug behind the line of scrimmage will lose 2 on the play. So Beatty now with his second carry of the ball game and is in the negatives, -3. Not much to go on that one as he got an angle to the right side, the defensive end over there to make the stop for Artesia. So that stops the play, and that was Caden Grantham. Loss of 1, second down and 11 for the Eagles at their own 41 on the left hash. Receiver spread wide right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, and one on the left side. Beatty keeps looking over the sideline to get the play call. They get a slot right, single setback. Armendariz with the Eagles. They bring a man in motion from left to right for Hobbs, and that is Franklin. Give the handoff to the tailback as Armendariz tries to cut out to the right as well, and he gets met in the backfield again, maybe back to where the line of scrimmage was at the 40. Actually, he's going to go back a yard.
Actually, it's more like,
nope. Yeah, about 1 yard on that one. So Franklin now with a -1 on that. So he's got 2 carries for 8 now total.
Yeah, there was already a lineman in the backfield for Artesia.
Third down and 12 now for Hobbs back at the 40. They've gone backwards on the last 2 plays. They'll send 3 receivers right. Nobody, or now 1 far to the left side in front of the Artesia bench with a big gap between him and the line. Beatty back in shot. Gets a good snap. 3-step drop. Little shuffle pass across the line of scrimmage. 40, 45 and a slide, losing his balance. That will be a 6-yard pickup. But well shy of the first down by about 5 yards.
Exactly.
That was, I believe that was Armendariz that time, and he gets a 6-yard pickup on that one. I believe that was his first catch of the ball game.
Now we're going to go for it, or looks like they're going to go for it.
It's on the Hobbs Eagles side of the field at the 46, a 4th down. It looks like 5 here. Eagles completing their 8th pass out of 12 intended passes in this ball game. And they're going to go for it. Shotgun, Beatty wants to throw the out route, sliding catch attempt to the 50, but that was 2 yards shy of the first down anyway. It will be a positive catch, but only going to get about 4 yards, and pulling it down was Hawkins. Did a good job of sliding his hips on the ground to come back to it at the 50, but just 4 on the pickup for him. And that will end it on downs for the Eagles for the second time tonight. 4 catches for 25 yards for Hawkes, the 9th reception on 13 attempts for the Hobbs Eagles. But Artesia is going to get it near midfield, and they are up 28-0, scoring on their last drive at the 49. Hobbs is trying to get some pass plays converted there, but a couple runs being dropped in the backfield, the quarterback and their wide receiver going down.
Yeah, or not knowing exactly where you're at. You're supposed to be beyond the line of scrimmage or the first down to be able to get that first down. It didn't happen, though.
Twins right, receiver left, shotgun. Estrada with a 2-step drop out of the shot, throws the out route, but he gets tangled up and got bear hugged by 2 defenders on the right side of the line of scrimmage, about across by about 4 yards. The Eagles step up big and put a wallop on the intender. A good job for the linebacker for the Hobbs Eagles, getting their first Zayden McPherson to throw a blow at him. And he got crunched incomplete on the throw as it kind of bounced off the back of the shoulder blades of the intended receiver for Artesia. Incomplete. So they are now 14 of 17 now. Shotgun, Twins right, receiver left. Strada with a two-step drop. He's going to throw the out route high and into Hobbs Eagle territory at the 44. That's 6 yards on that one. So a good little shot to the far side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. As that completion for the Bulldogs was over to the far left side to Juan Diego Duran. Duran picks up 6. Third catch for him for 60 yards. Another reception for Artesia. It'll be a third down, and looks like about 3.5 for the Artesia Bulldogs at the Eagle, 44 on the left hash. Twins trips right, receiver left, and the whole 3 guys on the front line jumping hard for Hobbs. Not watching the football that time, and I believe that might be an offside penalty against the Eagles. I didn't see any movement on the front for the Orange squad. Yep, offside penalty. That's the first of the second half for the Eagles. That's 10 total for 70 yards.
And that's a first down for the Artesia Bulldogs.
And that, unfortunately, will be their 15th first down. That one on a gift at the Eagle 40. Shotgun, there's Strada. Handoff, left side hash, and straight up the line, but getting hit hard in the helmet and falling forward. Maybe a couple yards for Galindo on that one. He continues to rack up here in the third quarter. He's managed 71 yards on the ground and 97 overall on 9 carries in the ball game. Second down and a long 7 from the 38 of the Eagles. Shotgun Estrada. He's going to plop it back to the left flat to the 40, 35, 30, and bang it over one defender and getting out of bounds. That's going to be, it looks like a Galindo with an 8-yard, maybe 9. If it's 9, it'll be a first down. They're going to say it's going to be 7.5 for Galindo, and he whammed hard into whoever that was on that far sideline for the Hobbs Eagle D.
Yeah, that must have been a big collision over there. Everybody was very awestruck about it.
And that'd be third and about 1.5 yards left here for Artesia. Trips right, receiver left. Strada on the shotgun again. Pump fake, handoff up the middle, and nothing going on this one. Galindo is going to be met hard. The Hobbs Eagles read it perfectly up the gut.
Indeed, that time there was no holes in the defensive line for the Hobbs Eagles. Stopped it quick in its tracks, and now it's set up a fourth down and short.
You can credit that one to the linebacking core jumping in there that time. As the defense now takes a look at the sideline to see what they want to do on a fourth down situation. Fourth and about 2, it looks like. No, make it more like 4. Make that.
Artesia can afford to take this chance.
Late sub coming in, Isaac Casares for the offense to the far left receiver. Strada wants that shot, and Casares, the backup quarterback who went to receiver on that left, who just came in late. He's the one that fires off too quickly and gets the false start penalty against Artesia, which is not what they wanted to see at that point. Actually, that wasn't him. That was Porter Hardman, the wide receiver, getting the call on that. 5-yard penalty for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, either way, it's offsides on the offense, and we get another 5 tacked on for a huge 4th and 7.
9 penalties now for 80 yards for Artesia, majority of those coming in the second quarter. So a long piece of ground to make up for the Artesia Bulldogs. 4th and about 9.5 from the Eagle 39-yard line on the left hash. By himself, Estrada, shotgun, 3-step drop, has some pressure. He's rolling right. He's going to have to throw on the run. Does throw the out route, but throws it low to the near sideline, incomplete in front of the Artesia bench. The catch, if that would have been pulled down about the 28, would have been shy of the first down by about 3 yards, but incomplete, so erase it completely off the numbers there. And the Hobbs Eagles have got it back on downs. That's the second time it's happened for the Bulldogs in this ball game. But Hobbs has got to be quick strike here. They're down 28-0, and I think the passing game's got to come alive a little bit more for Hobbs to get back into this contest. Right now, the leader in terms of receptions is Jaquez, 4 catches for 25. Franklin had the 32-yarder in the first half, and also Salcido with a couple of catches for 22. Armendariz has had 1 here in the second half for 6 yards.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a quick strike, whether it be rush or pass. Hobbs needs to get back into this and quickly if they want to, have a chance.
First down and 10 from the 39. Shotgun, fakes the handoff to Spady. He's going to fire the out route. A high snag at the 50 and out of bounds. That will be a first down and then some. Looks like 11 for the Eagles on that one. That was Kennedy that comes up with the shot there. So Kennedy in terms of in this game. I think that's his first catch it is of the ball game. He's got 11 on that one. 7th first down for the Eagles. It's 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line, right near midfield. Actually, the ball right on the 50-yard stripe. Hobbs getting themselves reshifted here on the offense. Twins left and right. Beatty back and shot at the 45 with Armendariz. Good shot, snap. Goes it quick to the left side, and it's caught. Almost intercepted, though. Hobbs going across the line of scrimmage, backpedaling and getting about 7. A late flag on the play. Maybe it'd be a face mask or something of that nature. I believe that might have been Salcido for his 3rd catch. I believe so. We'll see what the call was. Zach Salcido was the man that makes a quick snag with the hands and backpedals his way for looks like at least 8. And there might be a tack on here.
Yeah, it looks like it will be. It looks like it's going to be against the Artesia Bulldogs.
And they had a good read by the cornerback. He came running up to the line of scrimmage. He knew that ball was going to be a quick fire shot. Red shot to the left side. That's going to be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So a man that could have had a pick on that one was David Hammond, but he read it a little bit late. He was there fast, but the ball came just in time to Salcido. Tack on 15 of the penalty against the Bulldogs for unsportsmanlike. And that'll be another first down for the Eagles, who now have 8 first downs after the great catch from
Salcido?
Yeah, from Salcido from the 22. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Shotgun. Beatty's going to throw it to the right flat. Almost intercepted again. And step it up. Boy, taking some very lucky chances here that bouncing away from the defender. That time on the far left or far right sideline, almost picking off right in that right flat was Philip Finley. Incomplete. That should have been a pick 6 there, Ron. Is getting very close on those good reads for Artesia.
Right. And I asked somebody once, would you rather hit the player or get the ball? And that time it looked like it was all ball. Looked like if he would have got it, you're definitely right about that pick 6.
2nd down and 10 now from the 26. The handoff, dumping outside is Armendariz. Breaks a tackle to the 30, stretches it out to the 29. There's a penalty marker in the backfield. Might have been a block in the back by the Eagles. Way deep on that far sideline near the Hobbs Eagle bench right. That is already 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and not where you want to see the flags flying with that much time to run around there. It's usually against the offense.
Yeah, especially since Armendariz could not get any traction at all. Was trying to go forward, instead ended up going to the side and just could not get out of anybody's way to make any progress and make some yards.
Couldn't tell if they called that a legal block or a hold, but regardless, that's going to be some 10-yard penalty. Both of those penalties are the same in terms of yardage mark. So 10 yards back for the Eagles on that one. Would have been a loss of 2 anyway, so they just take the penalty and backs it up. Now, penalties behind the line of scrimmage, most of them will be marked at the line now, which is a little bit of a change from years past. So 2nd down and 20 now from the Artesia 37. Eagles desperately looking for a score with 5:54 remaining in the 3rd. It's 28-0 Bulldogs. Trips right, receiver left, fake the handoff. Beatty fires the out route, a high one towards the original line of scrimmage at the 27, but well over the head of the intended receiver for the Eagles as it sails toward the running track over there on the Hobbs Eagle right sideline.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we are having trouble with. Beatty is just off mark just a little bit, not able to get precise hits like he wants to. And I know he wants to get that one back and do it all over again.
I believe that was Jaquez way out there wide on the right for the Eagles. So incomplete on that one, and now it's a 3rd down and 20 from the 38-yard line. Eagles still trying to move it into the end zone for the first time tonight. Twins left and right, Beatty in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Armendariz, 1-step drop, fires down the middle of the post route, but it gets through the gap. A little bit of a zinger that time. No chance for a catch for Jaquez, incomplete. Boy, a lot of mustard on that ball as it was kind of low, and the ball, the tip of the ball was heading towards the turf. Really no chance towards the knees that time for Jaquez to kind of scoop underneath it.
Yeah, and Hobbs definitely needs to move forward. 4th down, though, it's going to make it very difficult, tricky even, as they are looking at 4th and very, very long. But they're definitely needing to go for it to get some momentum to get back into this game.
Yeah, 4th down and 21 now from the 38. Clock down to 5:43 remaining, down 28-0. One more touchdown and a PAT would put this in a mercy rule situation. Hobbs could avoid that by scoring here to keep it well far away from that. Twins left and right. Beatty ready for the shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff to Armendariz. Back to pass, steps up in the pocket, fires it down the post route, overthrows his receiver at the 10-yard line. Had a good speed on the route that time and got his defender by about 2 yards, but it was a zinger to the 5, or make it the 8-yard line. No chance for a catch there, as again, those passes are kind of hitting low for much of a chance for the Eagle receivers to come underneath it. I think that might have been Kennedy that time that was going wide, or going post on that down the middle.
It was a great route. It was run perfectly. If he would have got the ball in stride, he would have gone right in for the touchdown, or at least, at the very least, been first and goal. But anyway, never happened.
With his speed, he would have been gone, I think.
Yeah.
Turnover on downs for the Eagles once again. That's the third time it's happened. And quickly a pass for Estrada to get the next series going for Artesia. Coming back to get it in the backfield, then throwing his body forward, just getting back to the line of scrimmage that time for no pickup on the play.
And both sides are basically trying to keep the defense off guard and, on their heels as they continue to do this fast, and just get up on the line and go.
No gain on the play that time. Sides with the catch. Trips or quads right. A pass in the right flat is bobbled in the backfield, and I think he knew a defender was coming at him that time for the Bulldogs and just kind of fumbles it in the backfield before getting the grab. Ethan Kahn into the fingertips. The pass was thrown a little bit ahead of him, close to being behind. That could have been a fumble, but just barely in front of his fingertips that time, incomplete. Yeah, so that's going to stop the clock. Incomplete, 5:08 left here in the third quarter. Third down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 38-yard line, leading 28-0 over the Eagles. Trips right, receiver left. Again, Beatty in the shotgun. Takes a little bit longer of a snap count, claps his hands. Three-step drop back to the 30. He wants to fade it over the far left side, and coming back, the receiver gets tangled up in the defender on the far sideline at the Eagle 32. No call there. There's a little bit of a battle going on. Pretty hard to determine who had the advantage anyway. TJ fans were kind of upset about it, but just kind of a clanking action. Ball for grabs on that far sideline, incomplete.
It looked like the Hobbs defender had a little bit better of a ground, but both of them basically had to stop to get to the ball, and I think that threw off both their rhythms, and so neither one of them caught the ball.
I think that was the two number 15s battling out that time. The intended receiver, Juan Diego Duran, and for the Eagles, Shamus Wright, the freshman who started last week against Clovis in that big win. So incomplete for Artesia, and they're facing a 4th and 10. So a punt situation here from their own 38-yard line. No punts earlier in this game for Artesia. They're going to fake it. They throw a little dump in the right flat. Ball's caught, brought to the 35, 40. The fumble forward. Ball loose on the field at the 45. And we got a big pileup going on. That's going to be a net gain of 7, but about 4 or 5 yards shy of the first down. So Artesia gets net yardage out of it, but it was a sloppy one as getting for the catch, but the fumble on the flat, Matthew Saez. But give it right back to the Eagles. So Saez does get 7 on that one, but it was an ugly way to get it. And that will be a return to the Eagles, though, on the fumble. So that will be for the that will be a turnover for Artesia and the Eagle football in Artesia territory. This is the time to strike with 4:50 left in the third. Hobbs down 28-0.
Oh, it's always time to strike for the Hobbs Eagles.
One score so far in the third quarter was Galindo, a 40-yard run, making it 28-0. Hobbs getting a late sub on the field here, the center. So that you kind of wonder why it was taking that long. He knows the team got the football. Aiden Kays gets in. Go with the handoff as Armendariz gets spun around at the line of scrimmage, trying to head up the gut that time, and he might not even got back to line of scrimmage. Good read for Artesia.
He didn't.
Big kid coming in there that time to make the stop for Artesia, and that was Caden Grantham, the defensive end, got in there, or defensive tackle in there. Loss of 1 on the play, unfortunately, for Armendariz. He's got 9 carries for 22 yards. First carry of the second half. Second down and 11 now for the 45 of the Bulldogs. Twins right, receiver left. Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Good snap. Extends the ball again, and Armendariz angling right. He gets somersaulted to the 45, right back where he was the first time. On the end of the last play, no gain on the play for Armendariz.
No, he actually got thrown back to the line of scrimmage, so that helped with the forward progress. He was slung around in that fashion.
Ball back at the 45. Third down and 10. Still in Artesia territory, middle of the field, the left cheek of the Bulldog with 3:53 remaining. Long snap count, Twins right and left. Back to pass, Beatty, 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket, fires the pass down the middle of the seam route, over the shoulder, trying for a one-hand catch at the 1-yard line, but incomplete off the fingertips. Beautiful attempt, falling backwards up in the air that time, putting his body on the line, his back of his shoulder blades hitting the turf at the goal line. Deshaun Franklin, talk about some athleticism on 2 defenders, incomplete though.
And we've got a possible injury for the Artesia Bulldog as he is limping as he came up.
Yeah, he slammed the ground on the back line of the end zone, kind of helping out with the play. And we'll see who that injured player. That was Jesse Armendariz, the free safety, and he's getting some help from his training staff. And that is an incomplete pass. So that another opportunity here for the Eagles. They have a 4th down and 11 in Artesia territory at the 45. Hobbs going to bring on 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side in front of the Artesia bench. It will be Beatty in the backfield with Armendariz. Big play here for the Eagles. 4 in the front line for the Bulldogs. They got a blitz coming on. Back to pass Armendariz, 3-step drop. He wants to fire this time to the far right side. Wide open to the 20, and the catch is made. That'll be a 1st down.
Good.
Hawkes will get it. It'll be about 27, make it 26 now. They bring it back just a step. So 26 for Hawkes on that snag. Second catch of the second half. He's got 51 yards on 5 catches so far. And now another Eagle 1st down. That's their 9th of the ball game. Moving into the red zone at the 19 of the Bulldogs at the right hash mark with 3:33 left. They'll reset the clock once that ball gets set and we're ready to go. Eagles with twins right, receiver left. And Beatty's waiting for the man in motion right to left. They're going to fake the handoff to him, give the tailback. Here comes Armendariz going to the right side, and he comes across the hash mark and throws his body to the 15.
About a 5-yard gain for him.
They're going to mark it back to his knee, so 3 yards on Armendariz that time. Extends his numbers to 25 on the night with 11 carries. And third to make it 2nd down and 8 now, make it 7 for the Eagles at the 16 of the Bulldogs. Trying to get their first score of the ball game, down 28-zip, 3:05 left in the 3rd. Twins right, receiver left. Beatty starts underneath the center, then backs out after some comments for his lineman. 3 in the front row for Artesia in defense. Man in motion right to left, fake the handoff, 2-step drop. Here's the pass, lofting it right corner of the end zone, but the receiver can't get there in time. Might have got bumped a little bit at the line of scrimmage to stall it up just a bit. And the Eagles were out ahead of the cornerback that time, but unfortunately the ball was overthrown. The intended receiver for Hobbs was Isaiah Rodriguez, incomplete, and that sailed to the corner of the right end zone.
So many times the what if happens. You know, what if they had caught that ball? It'd be a different game. But they still need to work on that short game due to the Hobbs Eagles.
3rd down and 8 from the 16, need to get to the 9. And Beatty gets the shotgun, handoff to Armendariz with he's dancing around, gets around one defender, slides right, and gets put down at the 14-yard line. But there's a flag in the middle of the field now, near where the linebackers were. I don't know if maybe the linemen for the Eagles might have gone forward to hold. We'll have to wait and see. This might come back just a bit for the Eagles here.
It's starting to look like it.
Long delay here to get the call. Holding on the Eagles. And that will be their second penalty of the second half. They've got 80 yards on penalties, and that will be their 11th of the ball game. Almost thought that Artesia might decline now and make it a 4th and 4 or so, but they're going to back them up 10 and give them another shot on a 3rd down at the 25-yard line. They got to get to the 9, so 16 to go on this one, 3rd down. Twins left, receiver right. They get a slot right as well. Staggered eye formation here is backing into the shotgun is Beatty. Armendariz switched from the right to the left shoulder of him now in the backfield. They're going to give the ball to Armendariz. Cuts out right to the 25, extends, sidesteps, gets to the 20 and gets dropped there. 6 yards for Armendariz. That's his best carry of the second half. And in fact, second best of the ball game. He's got 31 yards on 12 carries. Let's see if he got out of bounds, too. Yes, he did. Stop the clock at 2:14 remaining. But Hobbs facing a 4th down and 12 now from the 22 of Artesia from the right hash. Big play here. They've been running some clock in this 3rd quarter as we get towards the end of it. Hobbs back at their Watson Stadium next week for the first game of home action as they take on Roswell. That'll be Military Appreciation Night. 6:45 pregame show, kickoff at 7 for you on our No Mark Broadcasting Station. Shotgun to Beatty, fakes the handoff. He wants to floor this one down to the right corner of the end zone again. It's right to the Artesia defender at the back pylon. He makes the catch for the INT. Can you believe that one? Locked it up. Receiver got kind of out of the way that time, and there's a pick in the back of the end zone. And that's Finley's the guy that comes up, but he's also their kicker. And so Hobbs starts to unravel again with another turnover, unfortunately. That's a fumble, 2 interceptions, 2 turnovers on downs, and now Artesia has stopped a scoring opportunity for the Eagles in the red zone, and they'll have it at the middle of the field at the 20-yard line on the automatic touchback.
And yet another missed opportunity for the Hobbs Eagles to score.
So now clock down to 2:06 remaining here in the 3rd, a 28-0 Artesia lead. Man in motion from left to right for the Bulldogs. Shotgun low on the ground, it's rolling around, but the official stops the action and calls a false start on Artesia, so they dodge a bullet there. That fumble could have cost them a major drop in the backfield as the quarterback had his head down too, and that's not what you want to do when the ball's flat on the turf, because you know you got some breathers coming at you hard like the linebackers or the front line for the defense. So a 5-yard penalty enforced against Artesia. That'll be their 12th penalty of the ball game. Waiting for the shotgun again. 1st and 15 from the 15-yard line. Fake the handoff, rolling right, cutting up the middle, 20. Estrada meets a wall at the 22 and continues to push the rugby scrum. And he's going to get about 7, does the running or quarterback. That's 4 carries for 26.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't Estrada.
Or maybe Casares. Yeah, that looked like a shorter guy with some quicker speed there. That could have been a direct snap to him. Yeah, that was Casares. You got me on that one. So that will be Estrada will turn his numbers over to Casares, thanks to you, Ron. Mm-hmm. 2nd down and looks like 7 on the shotgun. Back to pass. Nice. Estrada throwing out to the right side. Curl comes back to the 30. The catch is made. And that's a 7-8-yard pickup. Nice snag on the near sideline, bringing it down for Artesia Asias.
Yeah, Asias diving forward on that one.
That'll move the chains again. That's 16 first downs for Artesia. Move it up to the 32 of the Bulldogs. Own side of the field there on the right hash. 1:08 remaining. You think the Bulldogs need to keep it in bounds and keep the clock running. They don't want guys going out, giving some more time on the clock for the Eagles later. Twins left and 2 to the right. Handoff to the right side to the 30, 35, breaking a tackle, 40, 45, 50, up the sideline, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Artesia. That's going to be a 65-yard touchdown run up the near sideline as he got past a few defenders and continued to put on the acceleration on the sideline.
Yeah, that was all alone. Once he got into the gap, he was able to just cut in and avoid, of course, going out of bounds, as well as, of course, getting that touchdown run of 65 yards.
That's Galindo. His 2nd TD here in the second half, 3rd quarter. He's got 136 yards in this quarter alone and 2 touchdowns now, or 2 in the 3rd quarter and 1 in the 1st quarter for 3 rushing TDs. And the PAT coming from Finley now. Finley's the one that picked off the pass in the end zone for the Bulldogs in their last defensive stand. And this extra point could put it into mercy roll clock at 35 if he does put it through. He did miss one earlier. This time it's just inside the right upright. 50 seconds left, 3rd quarter, but the Bulldogs up big here on their home turf, 35-0. We'll come back in 60 seconds. Make it 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at the Bulldog Bowl. Ty, friend, Ron Gunner, Tiffany back at the station. Hobbs down now 35-0 to the Bulldogs in the 3rd. 50 seconds remaining. Thanks to our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Football, Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, Lee County State Bank, IDS, Forest Tire, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Kickoff for the Bulldogs. And that'll be on the ground. A roller takes a high bounce at the 25, scooped up by the Eagles at the 30, and brought down at the 30-yard line. A return of about 3 yards that time. And the return man for the Eagles on that one was Manuel Murillo. And now the Eagles will start for the next possession here in the 3rd quarter, but they have got to worry about the running clock here in the mercy roll. That's exactly where Artesia wanted it at 35. So Hobbs has to get underneath the 35 to get that clock stopped throughout the rest of this ball game. Eagles at the 30. On the left hash, as Beatty getting the troops fired up, ready to go here. Twins left and right in the receiving core. He'll back up in shotgun as he steps back there with Armendariz. Takes a shotgun snap, hand off to Armendariz up the gut, gets backed up at the 30, and then meets a big orange wall and knocked off the helmet as well. And that got to hurt as his head slammed on the turf. High-fiving for Artesia. I don't know if he even got the forward progress that he wanted that time, and the man that puts a wallop on him was Dylan Fisher, the defensive tackle. Let's see if we're going to mark this. That's probably going to mean he's got to leave the game, too, because his helmet came off on a run.
Absolutely. But, yeah, he did get the forward progress.
Back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, not
right.
much more than that, though.
No more than that.
So
got a final for you from Texas. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yep, the Lovington Wildcats on the road in Seminole. So second down and 10 now from the 30 for the Eagles. Shotgun. Beatty hands off again up the gut. 35, 40, 45, 50. Heading to the far sideline into Artesia territory. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15 off to the races and knocked out at the make it the 14-yard line.
Just ran out of real estate right there. He almost had the whole thing. Got really close, but was knocked out of bounds. And, yeah, that definitely did save Artesia from their blanking of the Hobbs Eagles. And also, that would have stopped the running clock.
That's 48 yards on that carry. Big-time run for the Hobbs Eagles. As they'll be knocking at the door when we come back after the third quarter expires. And I believe that for the Eagles was Amarian Kennedy. We'll double-check on that one. But 48 yards for Kennedy. And the Eagles will take it into the fourth quarter down 35-0, but knocking on the door back in 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Big-time run for Amarian Kennedy, 48 yards. Eagles have another first down. They're 10th of the ball game. We'll have it at the Artesia 21-yard line. On the right hash, down 35-0. Shotgun back to Beatty. Pump fake. Down the middle of the post route. Wide open at the 2-yard line. The catch and the touchdown for the Eagles. 21-yarder for Hobbs to get on the scoreboard and to try to get this game back in contention here. Larry Salcido coming up big. He's got a lot of catches in this ball game. And definitely taking care of business. Wide open on the post route in the middle of the field. So Salcido with the touchdown. He's got 4 catches in this game for 51 yards total and a touchdown. Hobbs on the board, which will get this underneath the mercy roll. Fake the PAT. They're going to fire route it. The holder is going to roll left. He wants to throw it. I believe that's Hawkes. Throws it left corner of the end zone, but it's intercepted by Artesia. They should be stopping the play. The INT man was running out with it, but they forgot this is not college football. So it doesn't matter. You stop the action right there. David Hammond with the pickoff, and Hawkes, I think, threw it right to his numbers that time, and should have probably lopped it a little bit higher because there was a receiver open in that left corner of the end zone. But incomplete on the, or actually INT on the PAT, the 2-point conversion. But the Eagles on the scoreboard. They trail by 29, 11:46 remaining, 35-6 Artesia. 60 seconds back on the No Mark Broadcasting Network's coverage of Hobbs Eagle football. Back live here in Artesia. The Bulldogs still lead 35-6, but the Eagles get on the scoreboard. Zach Salcido with a 21-yard pass from Beatty. First pass of the game in the end zone. So a 29-point lead, which means it gets underneath the mercy roll. Probably expecting an onside kick here as the Eagles need to make up some big numbers quickly. As the kickoff coming from Orozco. Keeps it low. The ball is going to take a return from Artesia up the middle, 35, 40, and down to the 42-yard line. So good field position for the Bulldogs. And you can expect that they're going to be running some clock here. They'll have a little bit of a cushion at this point, but They got to move the ball, though, and get the first down so they can keep their offense on the field and keep Hobbs moving back. They definitely don't want to have to punt on this situation here.
Exactly.
With that 29-point lead at this point. Again, next week we'll be at home against Roswell. 6:45 pregame, kickoff at 7, Military Appreciation Night at Watson Stadium. Artesia breaks the huddle from the 41, and they're ready to go here. And again, they look like Beatty will stay in the ball game. Again, we've seen Casares check in a little bit last week against Carlsbad. Twins right and left. Hits a shotgun snap, a little low. 3-step drop, back to pass. He's going to throw the fade down the near sideline. Caught at the 30 and brought to the 26-yard line for a first down. That's going to be 29 on that one. Casares makes the catch. That's his second catch for 59 total. And that'll be the 17th first down for the Bulldogs. Now at the Hobbs 26-yard line. Clock to 11:25 remaining in the fourth. 35-6 score. Trips right, receiver left. Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a short gain, maybe 2 yards on the draw up the gut. Galindo will get the carry. 2 yards on the play. The Eagles front line there to stop him. Johnson up front to put the down on him. 2 yards, though, for Galindo. He's had a couple of big touchdown runs in this third quarter, 65 and 40. 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs from the 24-yard line. Head off to left end to the 20. Galindo 15, 10, cuts it back, 5, touchdown. You just can't stop that kid. Once he gets a little bit of pressure across that line of scrimmage, it's all she wrote. 24 yards for the touchdown. He loves to get to the outside down those sidelines, Ron.
He does. He definitely does. And Galindo is definitely proving his ilk. And unfortunately, it happened to be where there was a possible injury that happened on the Artesia side, but he has definitely shown that he's got the speed and the ability to score at ease.
And gets it back into the mercy roll column again. That'll be 35 lead. Go with the swinging gate formation, which we're used to seeing from Artesia. They're known for that. They're known for the little returns on their kickoffs as well. What was I say? Star rise. Star burst. Here's the kick for the Bulldogs up, and it is good. So the PAT put through, and the Artesia Bulldogs quickly return the favor here, up 42-6, up to a 36-point lead, back to a mercy roll timing, back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia. Your Eagles trailing 42-6 to the home Artesia Bulldogs. And boy, this Galindo kid continues to light it up. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns, 3 in the second half, 1 in the first half. And looking at his numbers last week, he didn't even get any rushing yards against their first win against Carlsbad in the blowout victory. Not sure what the situation was last week, but he's a reckless abandon in this game. Catch made at the 30 for the Eagles. Hawkins to the 35, far left to the 40. Some good field position. He's up into there. And that's where the Eagles get their next possession. They got to hurry, though. The mercy rule in effect. Clock will get going as soon as they mark that football. But, boy, Galindo just putting it on the speed out there, getting to the outside. He also has a touchdown reception of 29 yards in the first half. So we're talking 5 touchdowns in this game, Ron. 4 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Yeah, and it's hard to beat a team that has a good runner like that has 5 different touchdowns. Hobbs just needs to get into it and see what they can crank out, and then rely on the defense.
Expect a lot of passing for the Eagles. Twins left and right. Shotgun for Beatty at the 39. He's got a quick throw, a comeback route, catch at the 40, far side. About a 2-yard pickup if the forward progress given on the full extension that time. But not a big gain on the play.
No, not even close.
It's going to take a few seconds to unravel the pile here, as I believe that, again, was Salcedo. He continued to have a big night here tonight. Salcedo. He had a touchdown earlier in this game, 2 yards on that pickup. So that's going to be a total of 5 catches for 53 yards for Salcedo. 2nd down and 8 now. The Eagles have it at their own 41-yard line. 9:56 and ticking here in the fourth. 42-6 Artesia. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Beatty back in shotgun, has Armendariz on his right shoulder. 4-man front for the Bulldog defense. Taking a long snap count here is Beatty. Gets a good shot. He's going to fake the pitch, and then he's going to take up the middle. Head right, zigzag, and he just has no daylight to move with, and maybe gets back to line of scrimmage. I think they dropped him short, though. Has coming up with the wrap-up against him was Rafael Orozco, and looks like a half-a-yard loss for the quarterback Beatty for the Eagles.
Exactly. Wasn't quite sure if that was planned or not, but either way, looked very haphazard.
Third down from the 40-yard line. Trying to get 9 here. They can get the first at the 49. Clock continues to run with 9:10 remaining here in the fourth. Mercy roll, trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Beatty back with Armendariz once again in the backfield. Takes a last-second decision to make a comment over there to Armendariz. Fakes the handoff to him. Steps up in the pocket. Pump fakes. Just tries to throw it in the right flat as he gets hammered, knocked to the floor. Does make that Beatty. Hawkes trying to come back on the right side to help him out, but boy, Beatty was flushed down to the ground pretty hard that time. Some pressure coming big, and coming through for the Bulldogs was Rafael Orozco, a guy we just mentioned, the defensive tackle from the right side. And unfortunately for the Eagles, they're facing a fourth down, and ball was incomplete, so no more drop back on that one, but a 4th and 9 from their own 40 for the Eagles.
Right, normally that would stop the clock, but because of mercy rule, it is not. It's continuing down to 8:22.
Eagles trying to get their punt personnel on the field here. They get about 3 guys running out there full speed. Hobbs has got 8 minutes left in this ball game, and a big hole to come out of. Hawkes in motion, right to left, and now everybody's standing straight up. I'm not sure what they're waiting for here. The clock expires on the field, so that's going to probably be a delay of game again. That's about the 3rd time that's been called in this contest, Ron.
I know, and most of them have been on the punting side. So for whatever reason, they're having trouble with the personnel maybe, or just getting their timing right.
That's the 12th penalty of the ball game for 85 yards, but really a lot less handkerchiefs in the second half, so I'm sure a speech at halftime kind of cleaned that up. Hobbs had 9 penalties for 65 yards in the first half alone. Again, only 3 in the second half. Hawkes goes in motion again, right to left. High snap. Beatty barely gets it away from the 25, had pressure on. And this thing's going to sail out towards the far sideline to the left in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Goes out of bounds in Hobbs territory, even worse at the 45. So that's going to give Artesia some good field position, Ron. And I think the Bulldogs, although they're like quick strike, like to throw the football, I think they're going to probably use Galindo a little bit and let the game run out here on the time clock. We haven't seen the other ball carrier you mentioned. You thought he might have gotten hurt earlier. I'm not sure. But,
right.
Of course, LaRocco had 8 carries for 74 yards in the first half, but we haven't seen – I don't know if we've seen him at all here in the second half.
No, we have not. And like I said, it looked like he may have pulled up after a good run near the end zone.
52 yards.
And then near the end of the run, it looked like he pulled up, hurt himself. He had to be carried off the field. And maybe precaution, maybe it's an injury, don't know. But either way, he has not been back.
Yeah, we'll check the sideline to see if he's out there. Again, he had a 52-yarder in the first half, and haven't had any numbers from him since. But Galindo, I think, has made up for that with all the scoring he's had.
Definitely.
Shotgun, we got a flag, and looks like that'll stop action. Looks like they might have a new quarterback in there as well. Isaac Casares has stepped in now. He's been the backup last week. He has 2 carries for 19 in terms of the running game so far in this contest, and has caught 2 passes for 59 yards total. 5-yard penalty as a false start. So that'll be tacked on. That'll be their 13th penalty of the ball game. Shotgun again. Casares lost it off his fingertips and drops it forward to the 46, but he does get a recovery on that. So a 3-yard loss for Casares on a bad snap possibly, and maybe he pulled away too quickly on that one. But regardless, it'll be a drop in the backfield.
May have been just a little too eager. Of course, you know, when you're up this big, you might want to do that too, or you might get a little too excited about the fact that you're doing so well.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left side for the Bulldogs at the 45-yard line. Waiting for that shotgun again is Casares. Low snap this time, 2-step drop, throws the out route, coming back to make the catch to the first down marker, or actually the original line of scrimmage, and I don't think that might come back. I thought I saw a flag being thrown there. 9-yard pickup regardless. And that's going to be, let's see who that, was that Jaden Waldrop out there, I believe, that made the catch. So another reception for 8 yards.
And a nice throw by the Bulldog quarterback.
Yeah, Casares making his first reception of the game, or pass reception. 3rd down and 8. Handoff around the left end and heading to the far near sideline, I should say, to the Artesia side, to the 48. Stretching it out very thick there was Bryce Parra, and I don't think Parra is going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no.
He's going to lose about, looks like 3 yards, does Parra. That was his first carry of the ball game. So we're starting to see a lot of guys being inserted now and going to mess up our stats big time. Eagles just ran him out of bounds that time and kind of ripped on him at the last second, as you get some credit there for the cornerback on the near sideline. That was Dale Madsen, one of the corners.
Clock is working on 5 minutes right now with no stoppage. Looks like this could be, if they drag it out another couple more first downs, the Artesia Bulldogs can guarantee a big victory.
Mercy roll victory there, 4th and 12. They have it at the Eagle 48. On-field clock reset to 0, but I guess they got the timeout right before it. Coach Moppin wants to talk to the troops. 4:52 left here in the fourth quarter. It's Artesia 42, your Hobbs Eagles 6. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Come back with us on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. (42-6) your score here in Artesia. The Bulldogs leading the Eagles by 36. It's going to be a 4th down situation for Artesia. It looks like they're going to get ready to punt the football. 4th and 12 from the Eagle 48. 4:48 remaining. Low snap. The punt's almost blocked. Ball's in the air. Wobbler end over end now. Fair catch made at the 24. Nice jumping leap there for the Eagles. That's Hawkins coming down with it. That kid's all over the place out there on the field. Hobbs have a last hurrah with the possession here. Down by 36, a mercy roll situation. You got a final from Seminole, Texas tonight, Ron.
Absolutely do. It's a blowout, and because it's in Texas, there's no mercy roll. 76-21 is what happened. Seminole over Lovington. The Wildcats losing big.
So we'll be Eagle football, 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line, down by 36. Clock to reset again at 4:20 with the mercy roll underway. Trips right, receiver left. Eagle receivers on the right side, bunched right in front of the Artesia bench. Shotgun low. Beatty throw it to the right flat. Catch is made, trying to turn up the near sideline. Breaking a tackle across the 25. Or make that Deshaun Franklin with the catch. And he's going to get about 4, depending on where they said he marked out.
It looks like the marking is a 2.
Yep, just 2 yards. Second catch for 34 for Franklin. Quickly back up to line of scrimmage at the 26. 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles on the right hash. Clocked at 3:44. Even getting out of bounds will not stop the clock. Twins left and right. Beatty waiting for a shotgun. Hawkins in motion right to left. Fakes the handoff to him. Give it instead to Armendariz. Breaks a tackle to the right side to the 30 and is stumbling ahead to the 35 after a somersault maneuver there. Looks like about 10 yards and just shy of the 1st down, it looks like, by a half a yard for Armendariz.
Yep, so 3rd and 1 looks like it's going to be.
That's about, I think that is his best carry of the ball game for 8 yards here in this 4th quarter, and up to the 34. Oh, they're going to go ahead and mark the first, so go ahead and give him 9 on that one, and that will be the 11th first down. Thank you for Armendariz. Rolling off to the left side off the motion. Handoff coming around, break a tackle, 40, 45, 50, 40 of Artesia down to the 35-yard line. That's Hawkins once again putting on the afterburners. 31 yards, a little bit more than that, but they got a flag somewhere, and we got to wait and see where this is coming back. And it's going to be from where the flag was thrown if it was on the run up ahead on the field there. Holding penalty, and it's not a good situation for the Eagles. It's coming all the way back. Still trying to spot the flag. There it is at the 39. So that was only about 5 yards across the line of scrimmage on the left side there. So that big-time run for Hawkins is coming back on a 10-yard holding penalty.
And that is pretty much what has happened tonight. Hobbs gets a big run or a big pass play, and instead of enjoying it, they have to go back because of a penalty.
30 yards and penalties here in the second half. 95 overall on 13 flags in this game. It'll be a 1st down and 15 now from the 29. Clock to 2:30 remaining in the contest. It's 42-6 Artesia. Twins left and right. Beatty gets a shotgun, fakes the handoff to Armendariz, steps up in the pocket, tucks to the 30, angling left, gets wrapped up, breaks one tackle to the 35, and picks up 6. Beatty putting his body on the line, diving against 3 orange jerseys that time. So 6 for Beatty. That's his first positive gain of the ball game. He's been dropped a few times in the backfield. He's got a total of 4 carries and 2 yards in the contest. 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles at the 36 left hash.
2 minutes on the clock.
And rolling. Eagles down by 36. Twins left and right. Fake to Armendariz again. Fade route to the far left sideline. Over the shoulder. The ball just barely knocked out of the hands of the intended receiver of the Eagles at the 35 in Artesia territory. Quarterback comes back and knocks the ball out of the outstretched hands as they were coming back for it that time. Both the corner and the receiver incomplete. Good effort to come back for it that time for the Eagles.
This could be the final drive of the game.
Intended receiver for Hobbs that time, battling back for the football, Deshaun Franklin. His name coming up quite a bit tonight. He's definitely a big-time athlete for the Eagles. 3rd down and 8 from the 36. Beatty back in shot. He sends those Twins receivers both sides. Man in motion left to right. Fake the handoff to him. Give it off to Armendariz up the middle. Zigzagging and out to the 40. About 4 yards for Armendariz. As in the second half, 21 yards, 44 overall on 15 carries. Clock to 50 seconds left. Clock is not stopping due to the mercy roll. Hobbs down by 36. Ball at the 39.5-yard line. 4th down and about 5 to go for the Eagles. Need to get to the 44-yard line as they get back up to the line of scrimmage. Twins left and right once again for Beatty as he backs into the shotgun. Has Armendariz on his left shoulder. 4 on the front line for the Bulldogs. Shotgun. 2-step drop. Fires it on the curl route. The catch made at the 48-yard line. And that is enough for the first down, plus about 4.
Now they're going to have to go quickly because the clock is continuing to run. Less than 17 seconds.
So about an 8-yard pickup on that one. As a completion over to Deshaun Franklin. Franklin has his 3rd catch for 42 yards. Back to pass Beatty. Shuffled out of the pressure in the pocket. Throws out to the right side. A comeback route. Caught at the 50. And that'll be a 3-yard pickup for Hawkes.
But that's the game.
And that'll run out the clock, unfortunately. That'll be the final catch of the ball game for the Eagles. That's going to be 6 for Hawkes. But the final score in mercy roll fashion, 42-6, Artesia with the win over the Eagles. Bulldogs are now 2-0 on the season. The Hobbs evens up at 1-1. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and also let's not forget about the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back here at the Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, Ty friend Ron Gunner, Tiffany back at the station tonight. Eagles unfortunately losing the second game of the season in big fashion here. 42-6 Mercy Roll win for the Bulldogs. Hobbs now 1-1 on the season. Bulldogs improved to 2-0, and of course last year 117 points on the scoreboard. This year only 48, and hasn't been that low of numbers for a while. I know there was a game a couple years ago. I think it was 21-7 or something like that, but still, right. We had a big shootout last year. Eagles winning by 21, and of course this Artesia Bulldog team did lose quite a few chunks of their offense and defense from last year, but they had about 3 or 4 guys from the All-State #1 team, and quarterback, of course, Estrada and some other guys on the field for the Bulldogs, but still, they had this one from the start. The kickoff return to start the game, Eagles fumbled away, and great defensive stand for the Hobbs squad to step up and not let him score on that next drive. But, again, too many turnovers in the contest for the Eagles. Just a couple of interceptions. They had about 3 punts, a fumble, 3 turnovers on downs, and it just kind of unraveled after that first thing, and that happened early. And that could be a psychological issue. The penalties didn't help in the first half either. It wasn't as bad in the second half. Hobbs only had 4 for 30 yards, but 9 for 65 in the first half. And a lot of those that you mentioned before, procedure stuff, offsides, false start, those types of things. And again, didn't have that issue last week. No turnovers in that game. Different opponent this week, though. Artesia definitely a little bit higher up than what Clovis is that we saw last week, but still, mental mistakes, that's an easy cliche in football, but that definitely has to be something the coach is talking about in the off week.
I mean, the only good thing they can say about this is Artesia is a tough team. That's why they are ranked #1 in the 4A by a large margin, but otherwise, you still want to play the game. You still want to win, and you want to. The coach Stevens is definitely going to say, "This is a game we could have done a whole lot better in. We just kept shooting ourselves in the foot with our mistakes, our penalties, everything we were doing. Drop passes. There was quite a few of those as well, whether it be close or just not even on the mark. Beatty looked like in the first game he was had ice water in his veins. This time around, it looked like he was seeing the pressure a little bit and feeling it a little more than he needed to. But you know what? This is why we play the game sometimes, because you learn what you can do, you learn what you can't do, and with losses, you learn a whole lot more. And unfortunately, though, it's a loss, but it's an early loss, and they can come back and play Roswell next week with a better attitude, more advantages, and hopefully they can take care of that. The ball, that is, because that's exactly what they needed to do, take care of the ball. Hobbs did not do that. Artesia did. They played well, and hats off to them. This is why they are #1 and won as many championships as they have over the years.
Yeah, 31 state championships for the Artesia Bulldogs, including last year. But you got to remember one thing. Last year, the Eagles winning by 21 in that big shootout matchup. Right. And then Artesia comes back and wins their state championship. So and they roll through their district, et cetera. So things can be done that way. This is a big rival matchup. That's 33 wins for Artesia. On 16 losses, so they continue to roll and taking care of business. But Hobbs has had quite a few wins against them in the last 5 to 10 years too. So can't take that any way from the Eagles. There's been 2 times where they won back-to-backs in the last.
It's been since 2017. So this is the reason why they haven't done it recently. Artesia is just a tough offensive, defensive team. They're just when you think you've got them corralled or at least figured out, then they come back strong. They do something different. They have a couple of good runs. They have one running back go down, another one comes up and plays big. So, yeah, just because you think that you've got somewhat of a control over the Artesia Bulldogs, that doesn't mean a thing. They say, you know what, we've got other players. We can do them instead, and we can make a difference. And, of course, the mercy rule definitely didn't help the Hobbs Eagles cause, but either way, they weren't helping themselves either. So they got out of this with a loss. They're going to learn, like I said, and they're going to go back and try to see on their first game, and that is military night, the appreciation night. And they're going to go ahead and face Roswell and see if they can do a much better job of the game.
And, of course, last year, Roswell, one of the best teams in 4A as well, along with Artesia. So, again, they got a big win over Santa Fe earlier tonight as well. We got the score on that final yet?
Yes, we do. The Roswell game. 58-6 was the final. Of course, that was in Mercy Rule, and that was definitely a good one for Roswell. They won in Santa Fe. As you know, sometimes it is harder to win on the road, but looks like they made it easy. In fact, they had 35 points in the first quarter of that game and just rolled on. 45-6 was the halftime score, And final was 58-6. I mentioned earlier about the fact that Seminole beating Lovington as well.
Okay, we'll get you all those scores here in the post game. Final score here from the Bulldog Bowl, 42-6. Artesia with a Mercy Rule win, 2-0 record. Eagles at 1-1. We'll take another 3-minute break and get back with more of the Hobbs Eagle post game show, the stats, and some of those scores that Ron talked about. Stay with us here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to the Bulldog Bowl post-game show. Hobbs Eagle football here live on the radio and on the internet tonight. HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio, Cool 95.7. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you still here at the Bulldog Bowl, and we have Tiffany back at the station. We'll get you the stats of this game unofficial, and then also we got some scores around the Lee County and other parts of the state. Let's look first at the Artesia numbers in this ball game, Ron, in terms of their running game. A very big start for LaRock. He had 8 carries for 74 yards. Didn't see him in the second half. A 52-yarder as well. He was not the top rusher, though. He was for quite a bit of the first half until halftime. But then that Galindo kid unleashed, basically. 12 carries, 188 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. One of those in the first half with 6 yards. Second half, 40, 65, and 24 yards. touchdowns and plus a 29-yarder rush, too, which was not a score. So 188, 4 rushing touchdowns. Galindo also had a catch for a score from 29 yards out. So this kid unleashes, like the word I used before, 5 TDs for him tonight. And he was coming in as a kind of a backup role, as we mentioned, for LaRock in the second half especially, and just rolled into the end zone quite a bit.
Yeah, he did. And we knew that he could run, but we didn't know how good he could run. You know, that's also a testament to the fact that Artesia has a great, strong offensive line. They can get holes for both running backs, and they are a threat in that one. And so the next team better watch out because they're going to run it down your throat. And
the weird thing is he had no numbers in last week's game when the win over Carlsbad, and wasn't even the stats for the rushing part of the contest. So I don't know what happened last week, but he definitely is a possible starter for the next games that they have on the season. Caceres, the backup quarterback, also spent some time in the backfield, had 3 carries for 16 in the game. Estrada, the starter, 3 for 19 in the rushing department. Lopez at 1 for 7. Saez 1 for 7. In terms of the rushing game tonight, 337 yards running the football. That's more than their passing game tonight. So definitely doing something. And we've kind of mentioned that. Artesia does, they know the teams are ready for their passing game and are trying to get ready for it with the practices before. But it seems like against the Eagles, they try to get that running game kind of revved up a little bit too. And tonight it did shine. Passing department for the Artesia Bulldogs, several different receivers as usual. A lot of threats out there. 6 catches for Saez for 42 yards. He had 3 for 10 apiece. Duran had 3 for 61. Caceres 2 for 59. Also, they had Galindo coming out of the backfield, 3 catches for 40 yards, including that 29-yarder for a score. Kahn had 2 catches for 11, a 4-yard touchdown reception. And not a lot of guys scored in terms of pass receptions in this ball game, but enough guys getting involved. They had about 8 different receivers with at least 2 or more catches in this ball game. So lots of people getting involved here. 19 of 23, I believe, 19-27, I should say, for the passing today for Estrada, the quarterback. So lots of people involved. 244 yards in the air. Almost 600 yards tonight, 581 for Artesia. That's 19 less than what Hobbs got last year. They had 600 yards of offense in a 21-point win. So kind of, I guess we could say, turning the tables, if you want to say it in those terms, right, versus last year's ball game. So that's where we sit for the Artesia Bulldogs. Hobbs side of the coin. The running game up to 142 in this one. Nobody getting some spectacular numbers, although Kennedy came in late and got a rush for 48 yards, but he was not constantly in the backfield for much of this contest. Definitely has some speed and maybe a guy to look to that backfield. We did see him last week a little bit in that position as well. Armendariz, 15 carries for 44 yards. A lot of lateral running in this game, coming from the backfield. He did some stuff up the middle too, but had to really battle for those yards. Didn't get 1 run for double digits in this contest. His big was a 9, so that was in the second half, but had a lot of wrap-ups on him to have to deal with in this game. Jaquez coming out of that slot receiver position in motion, 3 carries for 20 yards for him. The starting quarterback, of course, 4 carries for 2 yards for him, and of course he was throwing the football quite a bit tonight, but doing the best he can. Beatty in terms of the QB role. Franklin had a couple of carries tonight, 2 for 8 in the contest. So Hobbs had about 6 guys that actually ran the football at different parts of this ball game. Again, 142 yards on the ground unofficially. In the passing department, Jaquez, 3 catches for 21 yards. Make that 6 catches for 54 yards. He had 3 for 21 at the half and added 3 more in the second half, including 26. So, again, he ends up with 54. Franklin with 3 catches for 42 yards, had a big one in the first half for 32. Salcido, I think, probably the best night for him, of course, starting there at the receiver position. He had 5 catches for 53 yards, a 21-yarder for a touchdown in the second half. So, kind of a spark plug for this team. Also had a 21-yarder in the first half, and some good sure fingers on some hard zingers toward the sideline. He was able to pull them down. Armendariz coming out of the backfield, a catch for 6 yards. Kennedy had 1 for 11 yards. And that's about 7 receivers with receptions in this ball game. 12 total catches for the Hobbs Eagles for 190 yards. Eagles unofficially at 332 in this ball game, again compared to 581 for Artesia. So even though they did lose in a mercy rule game here, Hobbs still managing some pretty decent numbers against a tough squad, the defending 4A state champs in this contest. Hobbs did manage 12 first downs, but a total of 17 for the Artesia Bulldogs. And really, turnovers a big difference in this game as well, Ron. A couple of interceptions, a fumble, 3 turnovers on downs, 3 punts. And again, turning the football over definitely was an issue, and penalties the issue in the first half. 65 in the first half. They only had 30 yards in the second half, so a total of 13 penalties for 95 yards in this ball game for the Eagles.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like you said, definitely, if you look down to the things that definitely contributed to this nice victory for Artesia, or the terrible victory or terrible loss for Hobbs, it would be turnovers, definitely some mental mistakes going on with the penalties. In fact, there was a couple of times when Hobbs did make some yardage. However, it was returned back either from a hold or whatever happened. It was just negated, and that, of course, is a heartbreaker. It's hard to get over that. And once you get on the mercy rule, then it's definitely hard to get back into the game. Even when you get into it, score, and then you turn around and see the Artesia team come back and do the same thing, score on you, and get back in the mercy rule, it just kind of deflates your energy, and it deflates the purpose that you want to come out and try to win a game.
Yeah, definitely the point, a good point to make there. We mentioned the penalties for Hobbs tonight really got less as the game went along, but Artesia started to rack some up. They finished with 13 for 105, so that's something Coach Maupin will want to try to kind of pare back just a bit as they continue on for their next game. So Eagles losing this one again, 42-6, mercy rule loss, but Roswell next week, another tough 4A team. High in the charts the last couple of seasons. Of course, one of the big foes for Artesia last year. That will be a home game for the Eagles at Watson Stadium, and that'll be military appreciation. We already mentioned the final in that earlier game. Roswell beating Santa Fe on the road 58-6 after 35-0 in the first quarter, so great one there. Ron, quickly run through those other scores around the area, including the big game for Lovington on the road in the Lone Star State.
Certainly. Well, they started off early at Seminole, and ended up being a 35-7 halftime score, and it became 76-21, where Seminole did beat the Lovington Wildcats handedly. Also handedly being the I know I say that wrong, but Estancia, it was 49-12. That was the Eunice Cardinals, of course, beating them in Cardinal fashion. Jal came in, and they're still playing actually against Tularosa. Last we know, it was 39-32 in the fourth quarter. Still back and forth. In fact, actually, Tularosa has come back a little bit. It was 33-24, but now, like I said, 39-32 near the end of that game. And we've got Goddard Carlsbad in a kind of a close one, 27-12. Carlsbad is in the lead in the third quarter. And, of course, yesterday we had Tatum and Alamo Navajo 50-0 in that mercy rule ending.
Okay, so there's some teams around the area, of course. Hobbs Eagles, again, final score tonight, 42-6 loss to Artesia here on the road. Second game in a row on the road, but we're finally back at Watson Stadium next Friday as they host Roswell. And that will be a 6:45 pregame, kickoff at 7 o'clock. And, Ron, before we take off tonight, go through our sponsors for Hobbs Eagle football this season.
Absolutely, we can. It's Eastern New Mexico University, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, Lee County State Bank, TDS, Forest Tire, A-Tech Air Conditioning and Heating, Lasco Construction, First American Bank of Hobbs, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you very much for all the sponsorship. We wouldn't be here without you.
Thanks to Tiffany back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, we'll see you next Friday night, 6:45, here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and on the radio, Cool 95.7. Have a great rest of a weekend out there. And don't forget Hobbs August Nights tomorrow as well.